This video contains subject matter that may be offensive and disturbing to some people. If you are the type to require a warning throughout a video or show, let this message serve as your warning. This channel discusses the harsh reality of true crime. If this warning is not sufficient for you, consider a different genre and unsubscribe from my channel immediately. I think I fixed it. There was some kind of thing, it was on this loop. I just saw it, but I knew it was going to make that weird sound, so thought I'd just run with it. That was pretty funny. Let me see if I can get that fixed again. Hold on. Yeah, we know, Dana. Yeah, we know. Thanks. Hey, everybody, it's echoing. Yeah, we got. Oh, there we go. See, this program. Well, hold on, let me show you. This program right here has this button that sometimes is on or off. See that? Hello. Hello. Yeah. So sometimes when you turn it on, it does that, and then you get the echoey sound. Pretty crazy. So here we are, everybody. Let me get the music playing again. That was what was supposed to come on, and this would go down, and there we go. All right. Well, thank you guys for the. That was a great last day of the month donation night. We donated something like $3,700 something this month from the revenue from the channel. Like I say every single night, you guys are more than welcome to send your money into any charity you want to do. If you want to help support my channel and charities at the same time, we don't have a specific charity that we just pick. I mean, somebody made a really crazy comment under the video talking about, like, I don't even mention a charity. Like, hey, everybody. I mean, I mention it like these are what we've donated to, but they're not. It's not like you're sending money into for the charity. You're sending it in for the channel. Then we, the whole channel as a whole is able to pool a bigger chunk together and send it in. That's just what I do with the revenue from it. So we're at $92,000, which is awesome, since 2020, and this year I think it's 27,000. But this is a new month, everybody. So here we go. Here's the first day of another month. So we got to try to keep up every single night. It's the same thing, over and over and over and over. Like right there, Courtney Robb, the very first one of the month, right there. Thank you very much. Oh, and I did talk to Kline today a couple times. We're actually looking at maybe a case up in Seattle area, and that one seems like something that we'll be able to do fairly easily. And so right now we have, I just got an update. Let me show you the update from Intermountain Forensic. Hold on a second. Well, thanks, Courtney Robb. Alifair M. Hey, it's something, Alifair, so thanks. All right. Here is the spreadsheet that they just sent me from Intermountain Forensic. So right now, our balance in there is $20,766. That's actually though before. That's through 7/31, but they hadn't got our donation because that's in the mail. So we're actually going to be at $22,766. Some of that's already been sort of will be used in the Southern Oregon criminal case that we're funding, and then we also have a, she's looking into a couple other ones. But I mean, the funding's right there, so the Addison County one, isn't really deemed as important, I don't think, by the law enforcement down there. It's so old, it's like 90 years old or something, so they're kind of like, they're not in a hurry to do anything. They had the bones, but we weren't able to get enough DNA out of it because it's so old. So at some point in the future, we'll try to revisit it, and somebody's going to have to do an exhumation and get better bones out of it. So that's kind of where we're at on that. Yeah. Anyway, sheet has everybody in there, like even Jeff's donations that he's made all up until December, and then he did another one this year in April. Jeff did. So but the account as a whole, he's put in over the years like let's see. Yeah, so far we've used. So here's the thing, like this right here is $14,484 that's been spent of the money that we've sent in, and we still have $20,000 in there. So we as a channel have donated $34,000 or $35,200 or so to the fund as a whole. I mean, that's pretty crazy, right? I mean, that is ridiculous, but that's kind of what it costs out there. So we got that. And for those of you who aren't aware, we did last year we identified Daniel Armentrout. We didn't do it, but we paid for the entire process. And Identifiers International identified Daniel Armentrout through genetic genealogy, forensic genetic genealogy, and we're able to identify him. And then it looks like where is that thing? Oh yeah, so Plato actually wrote a letter in there, a letter to the editor after it. So I thought I would just read it. All right. So she sent this in. I think this is the guy that was doing those interviews where he said, "All you freaks out there, thank you," or whatever the hell it was. All right. You guys remember that? But I guess Plato wrote them a letter to the editor way back in November of last year. Right around that time. Yeah, I mean, we're all part of the process, right? I mean, we're funding it. It's basically like in that case, they're the tool that allowed it to happen, right? Thanks, Liz Marie. All right, so here we go. Dear Mr. Daniel, I think it says. So that's actually his last name, huh? That's kind of ironic. She said, "I'm honored to have you put my comments in the Centerville Press." And that's Lori from Indiana. I guess you guys know her name now. Plato. Oh boy. Lori from Indiana to all in Bibb County. Bibb County is inspiring how you've taken care of Paul Armentrout for 60 years. As a member of Grant Hughes Investigates YouTube channel, contributing to the funds raised for Identifiers International to expertly carry out Danny's genetic genealogy has been the most rewarding thing I've ever contributed to. It was nearly a year of anticipation for everyone that contributed. I remember that all the time, always going, "Oh man, they've got the," where I'd update you guys on the stages. It was nearly a year of anticipation for everyone that contributed to funding this case. I'm only one of many, many donors. Donations were made from across the U.S., Australia, Ireland, and the U.K., to name just a few. The donors are from all walks of life, but one thing we have in common is we cared about Danny and his journey that began in 1961. The special caring that began in Bibb County is powerful. It withstood the test of time and eventually spread across the world last year. There wasn't a shortage of our emotions. We covered them all on 10/30/21, so October 30th, 2021, when we learned Danny's identity on Gray's channel from Identifinders International. However, our time of waiting was nothing compared to the 60 years Bibb County has lived with Danny's identity mystery and how Danny's family had lived not knowing where he was. Hey, thanks, Eugenie. See? It's like all of these. Yeah, yes, everybody, it all helps out my channel, but we donate a ridiculous amount of money every single month, all right? So yes, here's the truth. Here's the reality, right? Like if I didn't make an income on here, we'd be able to donate more money, okay? However, I wouldn't be able to do the show because I spend way too many hours, like literally 7 or 8 hours a day on every show, and it's just I wouldn't be able to do it. I couldn't justify doing a show. So the thing is there would be nothing at that point. All right. So it's weird when people complain and bitch and moan. It's amazing. So let's see, where are we at right here? So it's however, our time of waiting was nothing compared to the 60 years Bibb County has lived with Danny's identity mystery and how Danny's family has lived not knowing where he was. I've seen many press conferences before, but Bibb County's 11/1 press conference announcing Daniel Paul Armentrout's identity was the most touching, moving, and genuine press conference I've ever seen. The town I live in Indiana is a little bit bigger than Centerville, but not much bigger. Bibb County is a shining example of the unique, heartfelt concern that comes from a small town community where people can take the time to watch, listen, and care about their neighbors and even those unidentified. Isn't that the truth, huh? Thank you to the Bibb County Sheriff's Department and Bibb County Coroner for taking Dr. Colleen Fitzpatrick's phone call as genuine when she contacted them to ask about funding the process to identify at the time the 59-year-old remains. That phone call must have seemed a bit surreal to get out of the blue. I mean, that would be crazy, right? There is some good that can come from the internet in solving the case of Danny's identity. As far as I'm concerned, it is the platinum example of that good. Thank you all of Bibb County for being who you are and the countless unknown ways to all of us outsiders that you've taken care of Danny for so long. I feel fortunate to have happened onto Gray's channel last year and began learning about Dr. Fitzpatrick. I have no financial interest in Identifinders International or Gray Hughes Investigates, so it's easy for me to say with utter sincerity, please keep Identifinders International on your radar for many more cold cases they'll continue solving, some in the very near future that will definitely wow you and me too. Just to let you in on a little secret, in case you didn't know, Dr. Colleen Fitzpatrick is the mother of genetic genealogy. She's the brain behind what's now being used to solve cold cases we now hear about nearly every day in the news. Do yourself a favor, Google her name. Definitely put Gray Hughes Investigates on your radar. There are upcoming cases Gray has funded from his channel to Identifinders International. Danny was the first very big, very old, fully funded case from Gray's channel, but it won't be the last. Sadly, so many other cold cases and John and Jane Doe cases out there need solving. The unidentified deserve to have their names and identities known, and their families deserve to know where they are. Genetic genealogy and advances in DNA technology are miracles to the nameless and their families. Blessing to Bibb County and your Daniel Armentrout. Then there's just some links in there. Pretty cool, Plato. I like that. That was neat. That was nice. Thank you. Very cool. But I do think that at that time, that's probably one of the greatest feelings we've all had, right? Like it was just so amazing. And we're, believe it or not, there are cases we're trying to, there's some behind the scenes that are being worked on, but they're not, you just don't get to hear about it, especially the criminal ones. So you don't really get to know what's going on. So the one in Southern Oregon is being worked on. That's based off of a cigarette butt. And
very well written letter, Plato.
Yeah.
Time.
And then we're also we're looking at one up in the, and we did one behind the scenes, but we don't really talk about it because it was sort of like a identity of a victim of like a cartel or some shit, But it's like I don't really, need the publicity. It was cool to get the name out, get his name back or whatever. And then the one up in Seattle's interesting. I mean, I could probably talk about what's in the news on it, but let's just see if we get it first, and then I want to do the one from 1969 where the lady was in that trunk. That one would be cool. And the Bibb County one, we'll just have to, check back in on that at a different time. Hell, maybe I'll just bug the hell out of them. Who knows? Or hell, how about you, Plato? Why don't you write a letter to them, the Addison County Doe people, and tell them what maybe share a little bit of this and write it. That'd be sweet. Yeah, really? Yeah. I don't know, LM. What's going on? All right, so that was move over to, and thank you very much, Plato. That was really cool that you wrote that, and it was so positive towards the channel and everything as well. And so that's the reality. We see on my channel, we actually try to make a difference, actually do things, and not spend all day talking about how a book got slid off of a bed with a. See, that's what I always do is a juxtaposition. It's like, just picture that for a minute. You got a guy that was unidentified for 60 years, and we spent $8,000 to fund that and got him identified, and there was this whole thing in the newspaper, and it was in the New York Post and everything. And then you got somebody else talking about how a family's a murderer because a book got slid off of a bed. Okay? Wow. Think of the difference there. What are all the roses for? I don't get it. What happened? Did something happen in there? Oh. We do freak hearts here, not roses, okay? Yeah, we do freak hearts, not roses. Hey, all right. H-Doc. I mean, isn't that obvious? Like, that's kind of what we do here. Jesus. You guys are... There we go. Yeah, you actually make a difference. So every time you get, I mean, it all works out. See, the thing is you guys send in, I do the shows every night. You guys send in super chats and take care of me and, the whole channel every single night. And then in return, I take a huge portion of the income and send it into charities. I don't really know how people go, oh, that's so shitty. Hey Millie Miles, I'll be doing the quick update when I feel like getting to it, but when we get to it, it'll be quick, all right? It's not, my timeline doesn't run when your timeline is, okay? God, I hate when people do that. They just think the world revolves around them. You know what they probably have is a picture of their face, a model of their face, and then a earth going around their head. Right, okay. Hey, thanks, Quietly Frozen. Hey, did you hear how mean Gray was just then? Well, you know what? Go look at the comments people do. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. Thank you. Quietly Frozen and H-Doc. Awesome. Yep, so mean. You don't think it's rude as hell to come in and say, quick update? A quick update, everybody, because I got to have what I want. How about now I'm going to put it at the end of the show. Actually, I won't. All right. Yeah, it is. It's just people, you know where they all come from. They all come from the one channel. You know how it goes. Right. Yeah, I don't have any dogs on the channel, so I mean they're not on the screen, so I know what the hell you're talking about, Millie. So go troll elsewhere. Hey, thank you, Charleston Amy. I can see your picture now on there.
Reading fee
I
for
like that.
manager.
Yeah, they are cute dogs, though. Right, they're just not on the screen. All right, you guys ready? I will do the update now because I'm gonna get on to the important stuff later. All right?
Your hard work is greatly appreciated, Gray.
All right, so this, Murdersheet put it out. They always put their, this thing on here to keep getting the name out there. I mean, I guess it's not dumb to do that or whatever. Hey, it's Beth. How's it going? I tried calling you the other day. You didn't answer. All right, let's see. Yeah, but you kind of are, Millie, because of your comment. Why don't you follow along and comment on what we were talking about? Like how cool it was to identify that person after 60 years. Instead, your only comment was, quick update? I need to get to that part because that's all I care about. It's really the only case that I ever talk about with anybody in my entire life. And if you don't get to that, I'm going to have to go. Yeah. All right, so anyways, here it is. This is another court document right here. It says, motion to continue the final pretrial conference. So that means they're going to extend it out, right? Comes now the defendant, Kegan Kline. Okay, motion to continue the final retrial conference and jury trial comes now. The defendant, Kegan Kline, by counsel Andrew A. Akey, and respectful request that the court continue the final pretrial conference scheduled on September 1st, 2022, and the jury trial scheduled on September 26, 2022. In support of said motion, the defendant states as follows. All right, so the thing is they're delaying it again, right? And so...
Chewbacca? Oh, I'll do Chewbacca if you want me to.
Hey, thanks,
So glad
Carla
to be part of
Dinsmore.
this fantastic channel.
Yeah, well, I appreciate it. Thank you. Right here it says, this matter is currently scheduled for final pretrial conference. So this trial was supposed to start like in a month from now, on September 1st, 2022 at 10 a.m. and for jury trial on September 26th. That the defendant is in the process of exploring other legal options. Okay, so that fits my theory absolutely perfectly, where I think that Kegan Kline was supposed to come forward back in December of last year, and he didn't do it. Might have even been a little bit before that. He didn't do it. He actually had a deal and he backed out of it. Probably his attorney wanted a better deal for him, and that was a bad move probably. They might have had a better deal then because they gave him another year to find more stuff. And then I think that the law enforcement then put out the Anthony Schatz information to put pressure on him, and I actually think they leaked. Somebody gave Wish TV a piece of information, and that document was open to the public. Anybody could have found that document. You just had to probably have known his name. And that was the original document that listed all the phones and everything. That was from 2020. That's weird, LM. Maybe sign out and sign back in again, LM, and see what happens. And so anyways, they did that, put pressure on him, and then things, didn't really progress that well. So but you could tell it was really obvious the difference between the 2020 sort of interrogation that he had for the 194-page document and the Barbara McDonald from HLN's interview. His stance on his father took like a 180-degree turn where multiple times he said, sure, my dad could have done it. Yeah, he had access to the phone. Where he did mental gymnastics in the 194-page document to continually never mention his father having access, even though the police tried to get him to say that, the people in the interview. So anyways, we're back to this, and he, it was the deal, he just sort of backed out on it, and then recently they scheduled the trial again. And now it's getting close to that again. He's like, oh shit, okay, man. And that was about, remember months ago when they stopped it again? So I think that's, at that point, he's working with them, and I think he's even working with them right now. They just had to schedule another trial, and the prosecutor is just easily going, oh yeah, let's go ahead, we can continue. Because they're working with him right now. He is absolutely working with them, that's my opinion. He's working with them right now, and he's been working with them since the last delay. I think it's just sort of required that you set another date, and now they're going to continue this date. And now, right below that, it says, the prosecutor, Pierre T. Dietrich or whatever, was contacted. It might be Peter. I don't know if there's a T that's being blocked out right there. It doesn't look like it, though. Was contacted regarding this motion, and he has no objections to this motion to continue. So he's already ready to go. Oh yeah, I don't have any objections. Yep. It's just sort of a procedural thing at this point because I think they're working with them. And he has no objections to this motion to continue the final pretrial conference and jury trial. That this motion to continue is not being made to unnecessarily delay the proceedings. Right? So they have to. This is all his, Kegan's choice, and the prosecutor's allowing it because that's what they've been doing. That any delay as a result of this motion shall be attributed to the defendant for purposes of Indiana Criminal Rule 4. Counsel for the defendant moves this court to continue the final pretrial conference and jury trial no sooner than 45 days from the date of this filing, and for all other just and proper relief in the premises. So, anyways, I think that's what they're saying right there. I think that he's working with them. And don't you guys think that? Yeah, he broke contact with him a long time ago. Don't you remember in the Barbara McDonald interview, he said he hasn't spoken with his dad. He was communicating with him all the time. Who are these clowns coming on here? God, would you guys just... You mentioned the person that is nuts, okay? So let me... You don't type in other creators on here. That's a good way to get yourself removed immediately from the channel. If I want to bring them up, and there's somebody that I've talked about multiple times, and, like, if somebody brought up Chasing Truth or whatever, it's not going to bother me. One thing I do think is weird, it's like, how people, forget, I'm not even going to say it. Let's see, Ringo, what's Ringo? Hey Ringo, welcome! As in Ringo Starr, is that it? And the crazy come in, working on his Sixth Amendment build-up. This way is his choice, but took one. Yeah, no, I don't. I think it's just exactly what I said. CL Silverback, that they've been working with a deal on a deal with him. He doesn't want to go out of jail, because as soon as he gets put into prison, he is going to be messed up. Okay, because as soon as he gets in there, they're going to say, well, he's a suspect in the murder of 2 little girls, and then boom, he's going to he doesn't want to be in prison. he's going to want to work out some kind of deal. Hey, there he is. The troll is back, everybody. Yeah. Awesome. Yes, troll, we're playing bingo, okay, Norman? We're playing bingo right now. Why don't you try to get a life every once in a while and be an actual good person in the world instead of a pile of shit? How's that sound? All right, let's see. So I don't have much more to say on that. What do you guys think? I am leaning towards it being Tony Kline. Yes, I do. That's just my opinion. As I said before, it sounds like the law enforcement is focusing on him. They were focusing on him. See, here's the thing. Look at it like this. The 2020 interview was totally focused in on, they looked like they were wanting Kegan to mention his dad. And then you had the Emily Ann account trying to get to sort of groom the girl into accepting somebody older.
All of the good things it does.
Thanks, Cami Curry. So you had and I believe that whoever was using the Emily Ann account, when they were trying to say things like, hey, have you ever been with a 45-year-old? Oh yeah, I was with my dad and all the, it's just crazy stuff like that. That's either they're both working together on that scenario, or it's Tony Kline, because why in the hell would Kegan want to say, hey, I'm 45? He's gonna, he's a lot younger than that. So he's trying to hook up his dad, or his dad is the one who's actually having those conversations with the girls. And that's what it seems more likely. Then you've got all the crazy stuff that he's done in his past, the violence against kids, biting somebody's stomach while bashing a kid's brains in on a toilet, and then biting his wife's stomach. Oh, this is so pleasurable. This is great. The guy, there's something wrong with him. And somebody made that search on the children of Sandy Hook, the victims of Sandy Hook. Somebody did that amongst other sexual searches. And that sort of matches a Tony Kline-like incident, right? Where he's in the throes of doing violent things, and then there's a sexual moment where he bites his wife in the stomach. Not that, women want their stomachs bitten or something. But what else? But that's what that feels like. That's what that is, right? Who would bite somebody in the stomach unless it, I don't know. It's just, I absolutely think that they are onto him. And then you have the 2020 interrogation, the 194-page document, where they absolutely were inferring that there's somebody else that was using that account. Who was it? Who else lived there with you? Almost, never could get him to say his dad. Then in the Barbara McDonald interview, he's more than willing to say, yes, his dad physically could have done it. He had access to the phone, all these different things. He tried to come up with an alibi that didn't really work at all for him. And then you have all those other incidents where there's some, I think one of the biggest ones is that incident with the masked person. And that's because Kegan actually knew this person. And the Anthony Shots account asked for the address. You wouldn't have needed the address, right? But maybe the dad would need, somebody else would need the address if they didn't know. And so that's another incident where it almost proves that somebody else was using the Anthony Shots account, and then somebody shows up wearing a mask. So there you go. There's just so many things. I got to one of the dumbest comments I've ever seen today. You want to see it? Hold on. And these are public comments, so I don't mind saying it. So somebody named Kathy G said, want to read this one? This is why I'm so sick of these idiots out here. Just watch this right here. It says, nothing points to the Klines in regards to Abby and Libby's murder, but it all points to Kelsey. Do you understand how dumb? Do you guys get what I'm coming from here? How does somebody think like that? The Klines have so much information that really points to that. It's unbelievable. It was actually a comment underneath a video that I made. Yeah, and I said, you sound foolish. I tried to be as nice as I could, okay? And this is one of the people that comments under that Wackos channel, and the other ones of the same ilk. No, isn't it scary? I mean, literally to say that. Nothing. I mean nothing points to the Klines. Are you kidding me? And here's the thing. That person doesn't live on an island, man. There's a whole bunch of people that are that crazy, that literally think that way. Yeah, no, isn't that wild though? So I'm trying to tell you guys that this actually does exist. I mean, there's a whole community. What they are the rejects from the channels that were logical. They just didn't fit in. They couldn't think correctly or right. Their brains didn't work. So then finally some channels came along that put out just absolute trash that they were able to sympathize with somehow. I don't know how or how that really works, but wow. Unbelievable. Thanks, Paulette Leonard.
I bet Cat wants full immunity for testimony.
Yeah, but you guys see what I'm saying? Like, I get these
emails.
emails.
Just has to realize he's not getting full immunity.
Yeah, he wants full immunity. Yeah, there's no way he's going to get full immunity. I think that is kind of what it is. You know, he thinks that he should get some great deal, but law enforcement can't give him that deal because they think that he is very much involved in the overall crime itself, you know. Maybe not the murder, you know, the actual physical murder part of it. And I guess if you're going to cut a deal, it would have to be a pretty lengthy time anyways, you know, 15, 20 years. Minimum, you know. If he wasn't part of the physical... But then he's got all these other charges where... Man, but he doesn't want to be in prison with these charges looming over him. He wants to be somewhere where he's not going to be pummeled upon. So that might be part of the deal. You'd almost want to be in solitary. Would you really want... I mean, 30 years of solitary, though? Jeez. Thank you, Tracy. How did all these mentally ill people find each other? I don't know. That's weird. It is strange. I think it just speaks to that there are that many mentally ill people in society. That there's, you know, that is a real thing. I mean, mental illness. But I think what it is, you know how like people like Alex Jones is really popular and made millions and millions of dollars, but is almost never right on anything that he says. But he's just, ooh, wow, I want to believe in that craziness, so they go for it, and it's more interesting and it sells more, right? I mean, well, the person I've been talking about making the videos keeps putting out unverified, nonsensical trash every single day, and it's lapped up like it is the greatest information ever with no proof whatsoever put on the screen. And I would think that there would have to be a little bit more proof to be able to put something like that up. And but by a little bit more, I mean anything at all. You don't even have screenshots. You know, it's wild. Oh yeah, maybe Putin did it. Yeah. All right, so anything else on this? That's just my thoughts. I think that he is extending out his time as they continue to work together. I mean, I don't know. He probably wants to spend as much time in jail as possible so that when he finally gets his time, he's got 5 years served already because it was all in jail, extending out the time, right? All right, I got the bots turned on now. Thank you, Mary Glaviano. We got Mary Harris and Mary Glaviano. Love all you do, Gray. Love my notebook. Oh, cool. You like my Mary Glaviano? Oh, by the way, Miss Holland did get the notebook.
Today.
It came the next day after.
Generous _basic generous _basic generous.
Oh, cool. I'm glad you like it. Dana Tane. I'm looking forward to Halloween again, man. You gotta come on. That's so fun. I don't know what it is about Halloween, but it's cool, you know. People coming in there. We actually do the panel thing where people are on a panel. Can't stand panels in general, but it's pretty cool. We don't bring up the names, Mike. You'll have to just figure stuff out yourself. Oh, yeah? All right. But have something, a plan. I like that circle planet one that you made. Maybe we can do another one like that. A little bit bigger, maybe, something. Thanks, LM. There you go. Got a bunch of emails that just came in. I don't know why. If somebody sent me something on Chase Post, I don't know what that means. Is that his page? I don't know why you're sending me that. You don't explain it. Yeah, we know where. I know all the information about it. You don't need to send it in like I'm getting it new. You know. I actually called in the missing Chase case. I called up his mom and spoke with her for a few minutes, 5 minutes or so. It wasn't long. But anyways, let's switch off the topic now. I'm going to move over to Chase Williamson. He is a missing individual out of Las Vegas. So we're going to switch over to that. It's kind of a weird one, actually. There it is. So Chase was actually he left his home at 2:30, and I went and I looked up where his house is. So his parents, you know, have it right here. He's 16 years old, and he's right there. So, and there's no street view. It's like a private neighborhood or something. So he lives there, and looks like, let's see what happens when you. You can go down this road, but you can't turn in there. Yeah, you can see it's sort of got a wall there you have to get in. So he lives in that neighborhood over here. And he worked at this place called Jim's Pizza, or Mr. Jim's Pizza. So I tried calling him too. I called the place because I wanted to have a better timeline. So he goes to work at 2:30, and when I was talking to the mother, she said that you know, he's 16, so he can't work 8 hours. So he went to work, left at 2:30. He was probably supposed to be there at 3, I would imagine, and then he works until 9:30. But at 5:30, he left work because he said he wasn't feeling well. Okay, and then after he said he wasn't feeling well, he disappeared. And then they find his bike over here in a dumpster by Albertsons, like right back here. I actually think that might be the dumpster. You know, they usually keep dumpsters in the same place all the time. So right there, and that's where his bike was found, a red bike. So that's pretty weird. Is anybody paying attention to this story, or still on to something else? Because I don't see any comments related to this one. So if we could just all focus in on this, it'd be great. All right. Yeah. All right. Cool. Yeah. All right. So here, this is him right here. And he apparently, his mom said he really liked his job. I said, does he have any mental, like, is he mentally, like, is he, well, I mean, I worded it better, something like, does he have any issues or something mentally right now? And she said, well, not much, unlike other kids during COVID where they're made to stay at home and they can't interact with other kids. So there was sort of a reference to that. Maybe there's something, but so he's 16 years old, 5 feet 10, 155 pounds, blue eyes, brown hair. He has braces. He was last seen on July 29th near, well, we already know where he was seen, at the pizza place. He was last seen wearing blue jeans, pink shirt that says Mr. Jim, so he actually had his work clothes on, and a visor. If you have any information on the whereabouts of Chase, please contact Las Vegas Police Department at 702-828-3111. That's what I just said, Sammy. I just explained that one. Alright, so in here it says, Carla Williamson, the mother of 16-year-old Chase Williamson, reported that her son went missing on the 29th of July 2022. It is reported that Williamson went missing at Mr. Jim's Pizza off the 215 and Hualapai around 5:30. His bike was found in a dumpster behind Albertsons on Ann Road and 95. Albertson's located at 7075 West Ann Road, Las Vegas, Nevada, has a convenient and friendly grocery store. That doesn't make any sense grammatically right there. And that's not, and his mom's name isn't Carla. So this article has some weird errors in it, but some of the information is good. But her name is actually Kayla, not Carla, the mom. Last seen wearing blue jeans. If you have any information, please contact. And his pink shirt and that said Mr. Jim's on it. Posted by his mother, Kayla Williamson. My son, Chase Williamson, who's 16 years old, left for work at Mr. Jim's Pizza off of the 215 and Hualapai around 5:30 and hasn't been seen since. His bike was found in a dumpster behind Albertsons on Ann and 95. He's 5'10", 155 pounds. He has short brown hair, blue eyes, and braces. He was wearing blue jeans, pink shirt, and black writing that said Mr. Jim's and a black visor. He was on, he was on a Maroon Beach cruiser bike. If you have any information, please contact me. So it was actually found in the dumpster, which is, that's pretty ominous sounding at that point. Where's the one I saw like an interview with in one of these documents here. Is it this one? No, that wasn't it. That was me calling them. Let's see. Actually, just had it. I had an interview. I thought I had it in this folder though. Maybe it's in that one. I don't know. There we go. That was the one.
We need those. Need information. We need those individuals that have the information to get in contact with Angels Vegas or the police
A plea from a loving mother whose teenage son hasn't returned home since he left for work Friday afternoon on his red bicycle.
He got off at 9, supposedly. It was thunderstorms that night, so I went up to pick him up. Went inside. The guy said that he had left a while ago.
On Saturday, Chase's bike was found here in this dumpster behind Albertsons, just 5 miles away from his job at Mr. Jim's Pizza.
Well, we haven't
don't know if
retrieved the
you've been
bike yet. We're going to pick that up today.
People just say they see
We were mainly focused on getting out the report to the police, putting this all over social media, and trying to talk to any of his friends online that we could, and finding out if anybody had seen him.
So far, the Williamson family has been following up on the few leads they have. They say Chase's cell phone has been off since he left work. Fellow employees say he's been a no-call and no-show at work the last 2 days. Well, Chase Williamson is about 5 foot 10 inches and weighs around 155 pounds. He has short brown hair, blue eyes, and braces. And Chase was last seen wearing his work uniform, which includes blue jeans, a pink shirt, and that said Mr. Jim's uniform. He might have also been wearing a black visor. Well, anyone with information on Chase's whereabouts is asked to notify Metro Police at the number on your screen, and that's 702-828-3111.
On Saturday, at my direction, the United States successfully concluded an airstrike.
Okay. Yeah. Anyways, I don't really have any more information on that one, but does anybody have, I mean, that's all there was. I did talk to the mom, but she just, that's all they knew. You know, that's all the information she had. She literally only had that information that he worked at Jim's. He left there at about 5:30, said he wasn't feeling well. You know. And it's very close to home. You know, he lives right there. It's just down their street. It's not far at all, I would imagine. Probably, you know, 1.25 miles total. So that's all he would have had to go home, is to go back to there. But then all of a sudden his bike ends up in a dumpster over here. So it's either, well, I guess the only two options are that he just left on his own, or somebody, you know, abducted him or something and put his bike in the dumpster. But he could also have done that trying to, you know, get away by putting his bike in the dumpster, so there was no clue on what direction he went or something. How's that? Is the stream still working for you guys? I have this error on my screen that says YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming. Yeah. You know, the thing is it seems like you might have, I mean, if you want to, I don't have any heebie-jeebie feelings from the family or anything like that. I mean, he's close to there. You know, if you wanted to, I'm not even going to do the speculation that he goes home, something happens, and then they put his bike over here. But, because there's nothing to indicate that. But, I mean, it's so close, you'd think that he'd just be able to get there, but he's, you know, if he wanted to take off, let's say he was depressed, you know, he would just get on his bike and go somewhere else, and then maybe something happened at that point. Yeah? I wonder what's going on with the stream. Alright, so it's working for you guys? Okay. It's so quiet. Oh, I think I lost my audio stream. Here we go. Alright, there it is, in the background. What are you talking about? No, the map isn't black and white. Yeah, I got the background music played out. Can you hear it? Yeah, so right now there isn't really enough information to speculate on anything. The mother did say that when I asked how is his mental, I don't know if I said mental health. I worded it in a way I can't remember, but it was pretty normal sounding. And she said, well, no more than any other kid during this pandemic, having to, not be able to hang out with his friends and be sort of isolated at home. And I was thinking, well, it's interesting that she even would say that. And maybe he is kind of down and out. Who knows? When you look at this image right here, you realize that almost all these squares at some point are going to be chock filled with people. Every one of them. It's going to look just like this. Yeah, I'm so glad I don't live there. I can't stand towns that look like that. Just people wall to wall, little boxes, Well, what do you guys think? Has anybody else heard of anything else in this case? I know that there's been things like, LM just typed in that there's been sightings, but, come on. People say there's sightings all the time in all kinds of cases. Are they verified? Sure, they went along. Couple groups. It's a shame they're so much I don't even know what that means. Chase's bike was found 7 minutes from my house. Been a big news here. Yeah, we've been covering it. Yeah, I don't know any of the rumors or anything like that. I'm just going over with what we got, and there really isn't much. So if anybody does have information on it, make sure to let me get the flyer back out here. Call the Las Vegas Police Department at 702-828-3111. And Chase was last seen again on July 29th, just two or 3 days ago, near 215. It was we can actually go down to the street view if you want to do it. Here's Mr. Jim's. And they drive right into the parking lot here, so should be able to turn around and should be a Mr. Jim's. There it is. So right there, that's the place where, this is a 2021 February image, so it's not too long ago. That's the pizza place. He wasn't feeling good, so he left, and then all he had to do was ride about 1.25 miles to his house right there. Instead, his bicycle is in a dumpster, probably right there. I wouldn't be shocked at all if the Google Earth guy knew it. God, I knew it. Yeah, so he even drove around, so it's probably in that dumpster right there. I would almost bet money. I don't know if there's another dumpster. Let's go driving around. And it's interesting because the dumpster's on on a side where you wouldn't see people very often. Especially a certain time of night, or just even during the day, you're on the side of the building. Yeah, so is there any other dumpsters? I don't know if you guys have Albertsons out on the east, but it's kind of we've had them here since I was a kid. The grocery store. Yeah, so that's interesting, right? It's sort of an isolated, hidden place back in a corner. Makes you wonder if he had something, if he did take off on his own, if he had something with him and then changed here, threw his bike in there, and then maybe got into a car with somebody else and took off. But why do all that?
Handsome kid. GF at work or someone's GF flirt with him? What kind of shape was his bike in?
I don't know. What kind of shape was his bike in? I don't know. Sounds like it was pretty good. Doesn't make sense where he is. He said he wasn't feeling well. So just that alone, if his bike is down there and he went there, that means there was deception when he told his boss that he wasn't feeling well. All right? Because if his bike's waiting, now if he'd gone home first, if he was abducted on the way home, then what he said to his boss would have been completely on the up and up, right? However, we don't know that now because his bike is found 5 miles away in the completely opposite direction. That's his home. He worked here. He's not feeling well. Where does he go? Well, he goes home. Well, his bike's over here. So if he wasn't abducted on the way home, then he was being deceptive to his boss when he left. Is that something we can agree on? Not necessarily, Gray. He might have tried to drive to a hospital or something. Oh, come on. Jesus, you guys. I'm mad at something that wasn't even said yet. Right, so if he wasn't abducted on the way home, then he was deceptive to work, and he went somewhere willingly. Now, maybe he was communicating with somebody online, again, that had nefarious intentions, so he was being deceptive to go and see this person, and then when he saw that person, that's when things went south, and the bike was thrown in that dumpster. Yeah. Yeah, I just said that, Liz Mary. That's why it would still be this. There's no or, okay? There's no or there. Would an abductor take the time to throw the bike in a... Maybe if you're trying to hide the bike, you know. I mean, he might have put the bike... Let's say he put the bike in the person's car because, you know, the person that he was being picked up by knew that he had a bike, and he was supposed to put the bike in maybe the pickup truck, right? And so they get a ride together, and then something happens, and then he has to dump the bike somewhere. Yeah. What am I looking at that? Hold on, I'll go check it. Okay, I don't know who this guy is, but it says, who's Jeremy Wood? It says, I was approached in the Lee's parking lot on Azure about 7:30 p.m. Friday night, which is, hold on. Oh, good, no mistakes. That is Friday. That is the 29th, so that's the same day. He asked me to call him a cab, but approached by who? I asked where he was going, and he looked at a crumpled paper and said, Paradise Road. I called for a cab and was on hold, and he told just to forget it? Huh? I mean, he told you just to forget it, and walked away. He left the Lee's parking lot on foot. Let's see. Is that a place? I don't even know what that is, who that person is or anything. I mean, what's Lee's? Okay, well, that's right there. Lee's Discount Liquor? Is that? So that would be right here. That kind of makes some sense. It's not there right now, but if you go to the... Let's see. There we go. So it was built in the last 5 years. Okay, but we don't know who this person is, right? But this is just some random person, okay, everybody, who said this. Well, give me tag me in the mom's post, because I was on a page, I just didn't see the one from the mom. Okay, Lee's Liquor Store. It's got to be the one. So he said he wanted a cab. So what did he do? He drove. Okay, and he wanted to go to Paradise Road. Let's see where that is. No, that's way down here then. Is that still Paradise over here? Yeah, okay, that's Paradise right there. Man, that's way down there. Yeah, Paradise Road. So that's still Paradise. 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 Just going to put this here for now, just to have something so I don't have to keep doing that same thing again. Alright, so I mean it's sort of interesting. It's like you know, you're kind of in the trajectory of getting to Paradise Road there. And then after here, does it continue on? There's Paradise Road. Then right, it's not one of those. And then it looks like it's done right here. So Paradise Road sort of ends right in that area. Which is, you know, you got, this is the road, kind of the direction he was going, down like this. But I mean, how would you get over to here? That's crazy. So maybe he wanted, here's what he could have been doing. If he was heading to Paradise Road on his own, so that was a lie at work over here, if this is true, then he probably dumped his bike here, you would think first, and then was sort of walking around. I don't know why he went back over to here, but then asked somebody for a ride, because that's where he was going anyways. I don't know why you would put your bike here though and go up there. That kind of doesn't make any sense. Why not just stand outside the Albertsons and ask somebody for a ride? But anyways, it says, I asked where he was going, and he looked at a crumpled paper, so that's interesting. He must have jotted something down prior, if this is him, and said Paradise Road. I called for a cab and was on hold, and he told me just to forget it and walked away. He left the Lee's parking lot on foot, headed down Azure towards Tenia. So let's see where Azure is. Is that this? That's Azure, so that's the right place. Azure. Alright, I'm just trying to get this towards Tenia. So let's just put a pin here for Azure. And then Tenia. Yeah. Or there's Tenia Way. They didn't really say it was. Is there an actual place called Tenia? Azure towards Tenia. That doesn't really make any sense. Because Azure is a road that goes like, it goes like this. Maybe Tenia is the name of this highway here, maybe? Don't know. Because there's Tenia right there, but that's going this direction. So how could you run into something that means here? Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. You get what I'm saying? Like North Tenia Way. Maybe there's a little community called Tenia, though. And that's North Tinyon. And it doesn't intersect with it. I just showed you it can't. Unless it's this direction. Oh, up in that way. Okay. Oh, so it's not. It goes up this way. Oh, there it is. So just right there then. It was the next 1 hour. I didn't see the name right there. All right, so this is the spot right here. He said he was walking right here. It was weird that name didn't show up when I was looking at it. I was kind of looking at these names like that. Yeah, it's just the street right next to it. So what he's saying is the person just started walking that way, but he didn't have, it must not have had his bike at that point, right? Because the guy said he didn't have a bike. So how does his bike end up here and then he walks all the way up here? Why would he do that? Why not just stand in the Albertsons parking lot and ask somebody for a cab? Why would go to a liquor store and ask for a cab? Does that make any sense? Oh, thank you. Chico's mummy. Thank you. Yeah, this doesn't make sense here. The stuff that makes sense is, okay, he's here. He wasn't really sick. He told his boss he was sick. And then he goes over here because he has an address that he wants to go to way down here. And then maybe he tries to ride a bike there first. And he goes, screw it. And maybe something happened to his bike and he just tossed it into the dumpster. And then he's left wandering around. And then but it's such a far wander. I mean, look at that thing. That's like probably a mile, I would bet. Yeah, 0.9, probably a mile something walking. And then he's over here and he says, hey, I need a cab. And the guy calls a cab and he goes, forget it. And then he starts walking this way. But he was trying to get the whole time, like way down here. So those parts don't make sense. But some of, like being here and then he didn't really go home and then being over here would make sense, but his bike being here doesn't make sense. But some, people just do things that don't make sense. He's 16 years old, which is the classic runaway age. I had to take a look at that golf course really quick. Yeah, Vegas is filled with a bunch of crazy people. I can't stand it there actually. I couldn't wait to get the hell out of there. I mean, I actually when I left CrimeCon, I slept. I got up at like 3:30 in the morning, got in the car, and just got the hell out of there. I was so happy. Like as soon as I was like 50 miles away out of the traffic areas where there wasn't any that time in the morning, it was so great. The night before, when I got there, it was so horrific. The traffic, just the stress level, way too many people there. It's just, I don't even know to be honest with you, like what's fun about it. It's good for like one night. That's it, man. His family say if they knew if he had, I don't know if he had money on him. They didn't say that. I didn't ask that question. I didn't really feel like staying on the phone. She sounded really sad, and I just wanted to get some clarity on the information about going to work. What time that was. God, my music quits playing. It's weird. I even have it set to not do that. Alright, let's see what the mom's post said. Yeah, it says, my son, yeah, okay, I saw that one. I guess I didn't know her name at the time. That's funny. My son, Chase Williamson, was last seen yesterday leaving work, and then, so it goes through the whole thing. And then let's see the comments below it. This is just, so we don't know when you say, I was approached in the Lee's parking lot. Well, you didn't say I was approached by him, right? So I don't really understand, why not just say exactly what's going on? Oh, that was definitely him. That was 100% him. It looks like it's generally in the right place, right? I live close to Ann in 95. These are the kind of posts I can't stand right here. Let's see. The ones that have like the prayer posts right away. They always seem like they're self-serving, like, you're trying to draw attention to yourself. Like the angel wings and the competitions of who can make the most, touching with quotes around it, post on Facebook. Do you have any issues at work? I did talk to the person that works there, but they didn't really know him. And then the boss never got back to me. So. Could be a red herring, but it's interesting. Well, but it's weird that the bike is there and he didn't have one when he went back up to the liquor store and the guy saw him. There wasn't a bike with him. He was just kind of walking. So the bike would have had to have been, I mean, it almost feels like he would have had to put it there, because he's up north trying to get a ride to a place that he wanted to get to, which was down here. Now, maybe on his social media, if they can find any kind of reference to, on social media, of him going to somebody that lives on Paradise Road. What the hell's this? Oh, it's the airport. Well, maybe that's why he wanted to get to Paradise Road. Might want to check out, Paradise Road goes right to the airport. That's mildly interesting. I mean, did he happen to have a...
I'll do Chewbacca if you want me to.
Thank you, Jennifer Dotson. And thank you, everybody. It's cool to... Looks like we're starting out the month decently. Had a little lull there for a bit, but... Maybe he got a flat tire or something. Yeah, but that's what somebody was saying. We don't know what his bike was like. I mean, it does appear, here's what it appears, and what I was saying a few minutes ago. It seems like he was headed in the direction like this, that actually runs right into, over here at some point, runs into Paradise Road. Like you have to come down here, I guess, keep going. I'm not sure where the bike lanes are, and then you'd have to come over here, and then you're going to get onto the right spot. So it sort of looks like he was heading in that direction. And then, like people are speculating, maybe something happened to his bike and he ditched it here. And then he was just wandering around, but it seemed like, why not just stay here? There's so many people. Hey, I need a cab. And instead he walks up here. It could be that he was actually decided, okay, I'm going to head home now, walking. But then why not just call home? He walks up here, and then maybe at a certain point, he tries again. Hey, can you give me a cab? I got to go to this place. He gives it another shot. And then the person says, yeah, hold on a second. Then he just starts walking away, but then he walks this direction, which again is in the general direction of getting down here. You're going, you have to go this way to get this way. We don't know if a lady took his bike. What do you mean? Who said that? I didn't hear anything about a lady taking his bike in an interview or anything. Would have been a very long walk. Huh? That's just where she found it, right? They state he changed his clothes along with the cab. What do you mean he changed his clothes along with the cab? What does that mean right there? Did he take a cab ride? Because a minute ago he said he declined the cab ride. Man, you guys got to substantiate stuff when you just type it in. I mean, what does that even mean up there? But a lady took, yeah, I mean, if a lady took the bike out of the dumpster and said, hey, I found his bike in the dumpster, you know, and was she able to ride it home? I don't know anything about the lady finding the bike in the dumpster. I haven't read anything about that. Do you have any more information on that? Yeah, I don't have your email. What you sent me is just this, I don't even know what this is. Vegas Angels. Says, no new tips have come in, unfortunately. The good news is that the detectives have been assigned to the case. We know that everyone wants to help, so we will be updating with information on any organized search parties later today. I do have some of your names, but anyone that would like to help can message Vegas Angels. Unfortunately, multiple people have reported Mom's post and her account has been restricted. Reported it for what? She cannot comment to answer any of your questions. This is one of many reasons we had to turn off comments. There was a lot of misinformation put out, including multiple comments that he is home and one that he was found deceased and that a GoFundMe was created. People have gone to Chase's workplace and harassed the kids there, and someone has shown up to the parents' home. Wow, is that where like Bullhorn Idiot is and all the rest of them? While we truly appreciate everyone's help, it needs to be organized and certain things need to be kept private. And then the other post says, update, we just got a 100% credible tip that Chase has changed his clothes. He was last seen wearing gray pants, black t-shirt, not the pink one anymore, with red shoes. See, I was thinking that. I was thinking he changed his clothes at the dumpster, possibly carrying a grocery bag, and then he had his clothes, change of clothes in there. We have updated our post in Vegas Angels for those of you who shared from our group. It doesn't say change his clothes with a cab. Nobody said anything about a cab in here. Where did it mention he changed his clothes with a cab? Okay, yeah, thanks. Yeah, I mean, it's helpful. I mean, that makes it seem like now what he said to his boss was definitely misinformation. I think we can put a check mark next to that. That when he told his boss he was sick, that wasn't true. And when he left at 5:30, he was intentionally leaving to go do something else. Right? Does everybody agree with that at this point now? Yeah. Well, they didn't mention what the change of clothes was, so maybe he did change inside of a cab. I was thinking when he dumped his bike behind that building in the corner that he did that. Okay, so that's better news, right, you guys? That he had plans. Now it's, what was the name of that one case that we did where She was at a church and got it, looked like she was abducted, but we figured out right away that she wasn't. And then she turned out to be just this girl on internet that was, I don't even know what the hell she was doing. What was her name again? Yeah, Maddie. There you go, Madison Bell. There we go. All Zozo had to type in was chucking a Maddie. There you go. And that's it. So it was Madison Bell. So right now, it sounds better for it not being nefarious. However, you know, it could be a situation where he was lured by somebody that is nefarious. And that's always when you're in a really bad situation, because that means they put themselves in a place that were already vulnerable, and then now it's hard to track. So if he did get a cab ride, then the cab driver is probably going to have an answer for something, because if he did get a cab ride, he would have told the cab exactly what was written on that paper, you would think, right? I don't think he would say, just drop me off on this certain road. He had the address, so he wanted to go to the road to get to there. But if you're going to take a cab, why not just... And here's the thing, when he went up here to get that cab, he might have actually thought, oh wait, if I talk to this guy, he'll be a witness that to something, that I got into a cab. So he just wanted to avoid that whole situation, and then he walked away and got his own cab somewhere else. Yeah, we know Amber. Amber just did the Zozo technique, where 30 minutes later you type in the answer. Paulette Leonard, you too. I don't even know. Oh, yeah, that's the one you found me on? Yeah, that was a cool case, because we actually were in communication with the sheriff. And he contacted me and said, yeah, we've been watching your show. And he said, hey, the next time you talk to that guy, maybe we could feed you some questions. It turns out, but then after that call, he told me the situation, and I said, oh man, she did this is willingly. She got into that car and went with that person. So it never led to us helping them out, but it was pretty cool. Oh, come on. I think she was intentionally doing the Zozo move. Maybe she is behind, though. Because that was like a minute and a half later. I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking of turning that sucker off, I can tell you. Yeah. I've done the old clothes switcheroo on the school bus as many girls did in the 70s. Boys change out of Wrangler jeans with Lee press on nails. Oh, you were a minute. Oh boy, wow, that's yeah. I have a feeling this one's going to get solved here in the next day or two, like maybe even tonight during the show. It'd be crazy if there was something else going on, like something that he was planning to do or something that had nothing to do with, you know, like what did he have with him? Because it's kind of an odd story, just everything about it, you know. Kid goes to work at 2:30, gets off at 5:30, says he's sick, but has a note. If this is all real stuff, that he had a piece of paper that he had something written on, and an address, it sounds like. Yeah, that's what it sounds like. All right, you guys, I'm gonna switch stories now. All right, but I'm gonna take a break. But if you'd like to help out the channel, so we can continue to keep doing the shows and all the charities that we help during the month and at the end of the month, that would be great. As I say, on this channel, we bring in, there's no ad revenue on YouTube. So basically, you guys are are the entire income for the channel throughout the year, with the PayPal's memberships and super chats. And then I donate over 50% just as something to do because it's meaningful. I mean, the thing is when you're sending money to charities and building up DNA funds and actually doing work, you're actually doing something. You know, a lot of times people just covering cases does do something. It gets the word out there for people. But to make an actual tangible difference, that's what we do here. Didn't give him directions on what. Yeah, I mean, that's one of the scary parts, you know. He's 16 years old. Might have been pretty lonely at home because of COVID and all that shit. And he might have been sitting there. Maybe he was online and he was chatting with somebody and they said, hey, man, yeah. Who knows, right? And then, you know, the bike part could have just been, you know, he was going to try to pedal to the place. And maybe, but it doesn't sound like it broke down. I don't know what the bike situation is, just a strange thing. I don't see anywhere where a lady said, I found the bike in a dumpster. I haven't seen that yet either. I don't know, Daniel. Yeah, you guys are pretty crazy over there. I gotta be honest with you. Thanks, Ellen. The good news is, as I figured out a minute behind, so I forwarded so I didn't hear Gray yell at me. Oh, there you go. I didn't really yell at you. I said, oh, come on. I thought you were just totally joking around. That's one of people's favorite jokes. The figuring something out 10 minutes later that everybody else has already figured out. What do you mean it's on the mom's? Okay, well, somebody has to send me a link to the mom's Facebook page. I can go look, actually. I do have the one that Zozo sent that has the mom's name, so let me click on that. Now, let's see. So it's in the comments, or is it? Yeah, you can't comment on her posts, so I don't know where you would have seen that. Thank you, Quietly Frozen. Yeah, but I can't see any comments anymore. I mean, so remember that other post just said they were turned off? Look, there's no comments below here. She was restricted. Somebody reported the post, so now people can't comment on them. Who are the idiots that reported the mother of a missing child's post? You guys are just absolute piles of shit. Because now she can't even get tips on there. I mean, what a joke. God. Yes. Thank you very much. Quietly Frozen. The coolest name in YouTube history. Get it? Coolest? Yeah, nosy Nellies. I didn't like what they said. I'm gonna report it. And then they probably had this little private chat with their buddies talking about how great it was that we reported it because we are the moral arbiters of the world, everybody. We are the ones that decide who... Oh, God. Stars have aligned. I can watch the rest of the show. Awesome. Internet sleuthers. So, yeah. Yep, you got that right. You got that right. Okay, well, I'm gonna go take a quick break, and I'll be right back. We're gonna switch over to that other case, and if you guys got any updates or whatnot, you can send me an email or on Facebook or whatever. And thanks, Zozo, for the link there to the mom. All right, so I'll be back in just a minute, but don't leave because we're going to be doing another missing person case from 2017. Yes, and you too can join the Love Boat with Julie, Gopher, Isaac. Don't forget Isaac. What a zany guy. And Captain Stubing. Then after that, we can watch Fantasy Island. Z-Plane! Alright, anyways, there we go. Just a hard cut off there. Huh? God, who cares, man? Somebody send me something on Carly Gousset. It's like right in the middle of the show. I mean, what does that have to do with this? Oh. That's right. Yes, you really should stay up and watch Fantasy Island. Is the new one any good? People are saying that, oh, you should watch the new one. Yeah, I remember exactly. It was 10 o'clock was The Love Boat, and then at 11 came Fantasy Island. No. It's just something about a Discord server. Alright. Okay, you guys ready? So we're going to do right now the case of Desirea Ferris. And then way back in, this is back in 2017, it was actually in Daily Mail first. I do have some newspapers.com articles, but here she is. She definitely had what I would call lizard eyes, which is, you know, see, if I say you have lizard eyes, that means I'm giving you a compliment, okay? It has nothing to do with they're really big, you know, look at those eyes. Maybe not quite exotic, but when it doesn't work for me when I say you have lizard eyes, but that's definitely what I'm saying, okay? Okay, so here we go. Desiree told her sister she was going to a friend's house. And let me see if I've got it. But have I started a folder on this one? No. Desirea Ferris is her name. So Desiree told her sister she was going to a friend's house before she disappeared. It's not clear what time she left her own home. At 2:06 a.m., she made a call on her cell phone, then sent a text to the same number 3 hours later at 5:41. No one has heard from her since. 4 weeks she's been gone. It's like she dropped off the face of the earth. I go back in time, her distraught mother said. When she left, all she had was the clothes she was wearing and her purse and phone. Police believe she may be in Kansas City. There's something really wrong here. Liberty Police Department. Where's that sound coming from? Can you guys hear that? Let me go get that. was like a scale from from earlier. Huh? What does Instagram have to do with this case right here? When she left, when she left, all she had was the clothes she was wearing and purse and phone. Police believe she may be in Kansas City. There's something really wrong here, Liberty Police Department Captain Andy Hedrick said. And the flyer here says, Desirea Ann Ferris went missing from Liberty, Missouri on May 1st, 2017. Desiree's family reported her missing to the Liberty Police Department on Thursday, May 4th. They had last seen her the afternoon of Monday, and she's 18 years old, so Monday, May 1st, 2017, when she left her residence in an unknown vehicle. Calls through her mobile phone go straight to voicemail. Desiree is 18 years old. She's 5'1" and weighs 101 pounds, so really small, tiny. She has brown hair and brown eyes. Desiree may be wearing a fuzzy pink jacket and a cream-colored crop top. She may also be carrying a tan purse. Let's see. I wonder. Yeah, I don't know what her status out there is, like what she was doing or anything. I guess we'll figure that all out. If you have any information regarding Desiree's disappearance or you know of her whereabouts, please call the Liberty Missouri Police Department. It's 816-439-4701. Come on, guys, let's help bring my baby sister home by putting the decals on our car windows. They're only $9. Inbox me if interested. We miss our baby girl. I love you, Desirea Ferris. I miss you so much. Please let her come home. Family isn't supposed to be ripped apart. We don't heal individually, but in community. They have hired a private investigator to search for her and are also offering to pay anyone with information about her whereabouts $200 a month for an entire year if they come forward. So $3,600. They have set up a GoFundMe page, or actually not even that, $2,400, right? They have set up a GoFundMe page to pay for the PI and fund a tip line in the hope that it will stir up clues. Her older sister, Sammy, regularly shares messages to her, begging her to come home. I miss you so much. Family isn't supposed to be ripped apart. Desiree is 5'1", 101 pounds. I guess so. There wasn't a huge amount, even in Daily Mail back then. And this is actually in newspapers.com, May 31st. A Liberty teen has been missing for nearly a month, and her mother believes she's been harmed. This is in the Kansas City Star here. There's some kind of foul play, said Patricia Tam. Whether it's the worst case scenario or trying to sell her, the family... So, I mean, maybe it is a sex trafficking situation. I used to always just kind of scoff at that, but not anymore. The family last heard from 18-year-old Desirea Ferris on May 1st. Ferris told her sister that she was headed to a friend's house, but she never arrived. And you guys, let's make sure that we don't have one of these. We got to get the month started well here to get on a flow. All right. So Ferris made a call at 2:06 a.m., a text to the same number at 5:14 a.m., and her last Facebook activity came at 3 a.m. So she was actually on Facebook at 3 a.m. Then all communication stopped. Her phone has been turned off. 4 weeks she's been gone. It's like she dropped off the face of the earth, Tam said. When she left, all she had was the clothes she was wearing and her purse and her phone. Tam is concerned a group her daughter had been fraternizing with may be involved. Investigators continue tracking down leads, according to Captain Andy Hedrick with the Liberty Police Department. There's something really wrong here, he said. So this is similar to the Daily Mail. Tam said the family hired a private investigator. Yep, no parent or person in general should ever go through this. Okay, so that sounds like that's sort of similar. Then in August that year, there she is right there. Desirea Ferris teen last seen with men her mom says are dangerous. Okay, so on May 1st, 2017, 18-year-old Desirea Ferris vanished without a trace after leaving her home in the suburbs of Kansas City, Missouri. Her mother, Patti Tam, said that Desirea, an aspiring model, was like a ray of sunshine who had her whole life ahead of her. On the day of her daughter disappeared, Tam thought that Desirea and her sister may have been planning a surprise birthday party for her. On the day her daughter disappeared, Tam, the mother, thought that Desirea and her sister may have been planning a surprise birthday for her, the mother. They had cake ingredients, and Desirea had left Tam a birthday card. But when Tam got home after getting off work at 5 p.m., her daughter wasn't there. As the sun set with no word from Desirea, Tam grew more concerned, and after she woke up in the middle of the night and realized that her daughter was still not home, she filed a police report. Tam teamed up with Desiree's stepmother, Jennifer Ferris, and the women worked together to retrace Desiree's steps. So maybe we can get a timeline now. They learned that she and her sister had spent the day with two men between 5 and 6 p.m. Her sister was brought back to Liberty, but Desirea reportedly remained with the men. Is this in... This is Missouri, right? Let's see. So this is Liberty, Missouri. I'm just saying, Tam teams up with Desiree's stepmother, Jennifer Ferris, and the women worked together to retrace Desiree's steps. They learned that she and her sister had spent the day with two men between 5 and 6 p.m. Her sister was brought back to Liberty, but Desirea reportedly remained with the men. Well, doesn't the sister know who these people are then? When Tam learned who the men were, she grew even more alarmed. She says that she knew the men by reputation, though she had never actually met them, and had warned Desirea to stay away from them, those individuals. She trusted the wrong people. Desiree's phone last pinged in the Marlboro Heights area of South Kansas City. Wow. So, that. Oh, I guess just right over here. So it's not that far away. Hello, Titanicing. Thank you, Jessica Schubach. Yeah, it'd be nice to get the month rolling here. Really hard to catch up later, I can tell you. Alright. Desiree's phone last pinged in the Marlboro Heights area of South Kansas City. It shut off at 4:11 a.m. on May 2nd. So that's when it shut off, huh? Properties. And that was
Ocean
4:11 a.m. 05/02/2017. Okay. Tam and Ferris started researching addresses where the men lived and began canvassing the neighborhood where they believed. Thanks, Jessica Schubach. Thanks for the effort there. Tam and Ferris started searching addresses where the men lived and began canvassing the neighborhood where they believed Desiree disappeared. At this point, I didn't care that these people were dangerous, Tam said. Thanks, Linda Howell. As in Linda Moulton Howe of the Cattle Mutilations
Ocean
and
wave,
Crop Circles.
Ocean wave.
Ferris met one of the men who had been with Desiree. Ferris met one of the men who had been with Desiree on the night she vanished. What do you mean, Ferris? Oh, Tam and Ferris started searching. Okay, the sister. Met one of the men who had been with Desiree on the night she vanished. His claim is that he took the sister back to Liberty and that he brought Desiree back to South Kansas City, and they sat in a car in a parking lot until they went back over to his house, Ferris said. His story is that she was picked up at his home around 2:30 in the morning, he said, that she was perfectly fine and that she had left in a white or silver truck. Man, I don't know about that. This is starting to sound like that other case a while back, the girl that left the bar with the 3 guys, and then she ends up being like in the yard of their house. Thanks, Tony Lee. What was it, Spurlock? Is that the right one? Or at least the first name was the same as the Spurlock one. Yeah, Savannah. Right. I don't know if that's the same. Yeah, I think that's the one.
Ocean wave, ocean wave, ocean wave.
Hey, thank you, Quietly Frozen. Ocean wave, ocean wave, ocean wave. Yeah. According to Ferris, the men claim that Desiree left the house in the company of the second man she had been seen with that day. Within 10... Thanks, Titanicin.
Chewbacca? I'll do Chewbacca if you want me to.
Within 10 days of Desiree's disappearance, that second man was arrested on unrelated charges. So they know who that is. He is currently in federal prison. Oh boy. And Desiree's family says that they do not believe that law enforcement have ever been able to speak to him. Neither of the 2 men have been named suspects in Ferris's case. I think that this is a group of people that are dangerous criminals, and I think... How did the mom know of these 2 guys prior, though? I think that this is a group of people that are dangerous criminals, and I think that anybody that has information on where she is or what happened to her, I think they are terrified. We just need one person to come forward, Ferris said. Somebody saw something. Tam says that she has heard horrible stories about what has happened to her daughter, but that she will not give up looking for her until her last breath. The Liberty Police Department has been unable to comment on the case, but have stated that the case is an active investigation. They have asked anyone with information to contact them at 816-439-4701. I don't know what you were saying. Okay, well, the bike, forget it. In the other case, the bike was found behind the dumpster, not in. But I don't even know what you're referring to other than that. But anyways, all right. LM sent me an email. Like, let me just get through this case, though. Would you mind? Okay. All right. So now we're going on to the next one. I just want to find the girl. Man dedicates month to search for missing Liberty teen. A man has spent months looking for clues to lead him to a missing teen out of Liberty, Missouri. I'm not a cop. It's not my business to figure out the case. I just want to find the girl. That's it. The man who wants to be identified as Spike said he is out every day looking for Desirea Ferris. He's not related to the 18-year-old. He's never seen her face other than on missing person flyer. If my kid was disappeared and gone, I'd want somebody out there doing it. Spike told 41 Action News he heard about Ferris's disappearance and reached out to her family. Ever since then, they formed a small army tirelessly searching for the teen. The Ferris family believes someone is responsible for her death. Who was Desiree with that night? The Liberty Police Department hasn't charged anyone in the teen's disappearance, and they still say she's missing. Spike has gathered a list of names of people Ferris was associated with before she went missing. Those people have told him a variety of scenarios, but he said none of them will say where she is. 41 Action News went with Spike and one of his friends to confront a man they believe has information about what happened to Ferris. The man, who did not want to be identified, says she is dead, but said he has nothing to do with it. Wow. Well, then tell people how you know he's dead. There are locations of Desiree's pings through the night. Spike said, running through a list of addresses from her cell phone records given to him by the teen's family. Those pings brought countless searches to the areas around Blue River and Grandview Road by Spike and the Ferris family. Each search has turned up nothing but more heartbreak. Spike said the pings also opened up his eyes to trap houses or vacant homes where drugs can be sold. Ferris's pings show she was at 3 abandoned homes, wow, the night before and the night she went missing. Wow, so let's see, 83rd. It'd be cool to get that ping list, wouldn't it? 83rd and Hillcrest. Alright, so that's down in that last ping area there, right? So, like, around in this area. We'll just put in general, abandoned home. Alright, and then we've got another one near 83rd and Hillcrest Road, 93rd and Grandview. Okay, that's probably even closer to that ping. Right over here. Probably over here. Abandoned home, 93rd and Grandview. Okay, so we got that one, and the other one. And 27th Terrace and Oakley. And yes, I could type 60 words a minute. Alright, here we go. 27 and Oakley. And that first one, we put the rest of that on there. That one was 83rd and Hillcrest. That's interesting. And then her sister, so Liberty must be where they're from up here. And now I can get rid of this because they're just referring to these different ping locations over here. Now, so that's one of them. House located in the 5700 block of East 27th Terrace. I was about to go down to the street on that one. Okay, so is this one? This is the terrace. Man, look at this, just ugh. Man. It's a, I think I might see it right here. Wow. That's the house right there. Can you believe that? Look at that thing. So that's where one of the pings was, right there. Man. And that we can actually see the address. So it's 5605. 5605. '27th Terrace. Okay, now I'm going to get rid of this pin here, because that's, now we know what they were referring to, that specific house right there. Man, that's wild. So this is from 2019. Look at this, just absolute garbage. So man, what the hell was she doing there? We broke up 3 drug sales in less than a week, Spike said of one property. Ferris's phone pinged at the house on 27th Terrace on May 1st. 41 Action News went to the house. It's dilapidated and the backyard appears to have been dug up. It's on a block where the majority of the homes are boarded up. This area is known for drugs and meth, a neighbor named Pat told 41 Action News. She wanted to be identified by her first name. Pat told 41 Action News people are always in and out of the house, which is 2 doors down from her. She said the constant noise keeps her up at night, fearing for her safety. My daughter pulled up one night, and one of the guys pulled up right beside her and asked what she needed, Pat said. Don't nobody just pull up to a car and ask what you need. So there was some drug activities going on there. After hearing about Ferris, Pat said she'd help in any way she can. That could be my 18-year-old daughter, she said. Spike and the Ferris family said although the teen hung out with people involved in drugs, they do not believe she died of a drug overdose. She got She got tangled up into this in an area she should have never been in. Ferris' very last cell phone ping was at 4:11 a.m. on May 2nd. After that, her phone and social media activity stopped. That ping was at a once beautiful property tucked away near 83rd and Hillcrest in Kansas City. It's so secluded, you can't tell, Spike said. Yeah, let's see. So that's where her last ping was. It was this one, 4:11 on the 2nd. No, the other one, 83rd and... Oops, shit. So maybe like back here, that's Hillcrest. But that's not really a driveway, that's a street. That's a golf course right there, so I don't know. I'm not really exactly sure where that one is, but let's see. So that was a Ferris' very last cell phone ping was at 4:11 on May 2nd. After that, her phone and social media activity stopped. That ping was at a once beautiful property tucked away near 83rd and Hillcrest. So we'll just put right here 4:11 a.m. on
Sorry.
5, 2.
Late fee.
Well, thanks, JSD. You know, nobody owes a late fee, though. But thank you. Let me just look at this one more time. So near 83rd. And there's houses right back in here, but that's actually, well, that's 83rd right there. Oh, interesting. Okay, so near 83rd. So it's going to be likely one of these homes right here, because this is a golf course. This doesn't have homes. It's an apartment complex. This doesn't look like a home. So this is going to be right in here. And it was a beautiful home. And I would say it's one of these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let me read that description again. The Ping was once a beautiful property tucked away near 83rd and Hillcrest. God, now what happened to this? This is crazy. This town just got, it's almost like a zombie apocalypse or something. Every house is, see, maybe it's something like that. I mean, looks like it was once a beautiful home. Thank you, Zozo. Sent list of each phone ping if you have, yeah. Okay. I figured it was going to be out there somewhere. It's kind of an older case. Alright, let me add this to my folder. Hold on.
Send list of each phone ping if you need. Thanks for all you do. Grey wave, ocean wave, heart.
Let's see. Zombie apocalypse. Well, it does kind of look like that, doesn't it? I mean, it's just shit. I think it's going to be... I wonder if it's that home, that first one there. Yeah. Was once a beautiful home. I mean, I guess that could have been. That's the one that looks kind of dilapidated, you know? Like something's wrong with it. So, maybe that was it. Alright, I got the... Zozo sent me the ping information. Figured it was out there somewhere. Alright, so 4 a.m. her cell phone pings at her home in Liberty, Missouri. I don't have her home address, but at 4 p.m., so that was 4 a.m., and then 12 hours later her cell phone pings near East 27th Street and Cleveland, so we got that one. We didn't have the time, but... So this one was at 4... p.m. And I think that would be on... It's May 1st, so... 5/1. Yeah, that's 4 p.m. Then 4:30, your cell phone pings near East 30th Terrace. So East 30th Terrace and Van Brunt Boulevard. So I didn't have that one. So East 30th Terrace and Van Brunt Boulevard. Okay. So that's at 4:30. Or 30 ping. You know what I should do is number these. I put like 1, or this is, we'll just say this is 2. Because it's better. Well, I guess it's 3. 4:30 ping. Oh God, what in the hell? What in the heck is going on there? Look at that. And this one was at 4. That was number 2. And then 12 hours earlier, her phone pinged here in 4 in the morning. So that means her phone was out and about. We don't know where she was during this time. Right, let's see. 4 a.m. 5-1. That's number 1. Okay. So we're getting these all numbered now. Ooh, what happened to all the other pings? Oh, they ended up in Savannah Spurlock. Ah, God. Oh, man. That's just such a hassle now to fix this. Here. Maybe I can do it like this. Put these all in that folder. And then maybe, can I cut that? Oh, there we go. And come down here to and paste, and then move these out of here. And get rid of that. Hey, that was a good technique there. I hadn't thought of that before. Man, reading doesn't work. Reading doesn't work. Great, get that in your head. Reading the documents doesn't work. All right, 5:25, her cell phone pings once again in the area near the family home. Huh. So that means she goes all the way back here again. So somewhere near here on the 1st at 5:25 p.m. And this is number 4. Right? So it went 1, 2, 3, yep. 4. Near home. And that's also on the 1st. Okay, then at 5:46, her cell phone pings near 700 North Church Road. So right here, at 7, so this is number 5, 5:46. .46, 700 North Church Road. And then between 7 and 8, her cell phone pings in the area of Holmes Road, and so Holmes and I-435. Let's just go to Holmes Road. Alright, well that's Holmes Road. But, does it keep going up in here? Holmes Road. Oh, there it is. So right in this area. 6, 7, p.m. to 8 p.m. Right there. Then 9 p.m. her cell phone pings near Oakwood neighborhood, just off of I-71. God. Oakwood Forest, I-71. Anyways, I don't have to do all this. It seems kind of boring to everybody. I can just tell. So I'm just trying to get the actual ping information in here, but I can do that some other time. Let's see. Her cell phone pings near west. I don't know where the Oakwood neighborhood is. It's not saying. Oakwood in Kansas City. Oh, there's Oakwood right there. So, and then they said near I-71. So that's Oakwood. And then there's 71. So right over here. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7. And that's at 9 o'clock. Okay, that's that. Then the next one is 10:45. Her cell phone pings near West 124th. And she's all over the place. It feels like her. How do we even know she's even in the car, though? You know. So then 8, 10:45. And then we got another page. And between 1 and 2 a.m. her cell phone pings near east. This is on the 2nd now. That's right, so that's what I needed to put on there. Between 1 and 2 a.m. her cell phone pings near East 75th Street and Prospect Avenue. There we go. So way up here now. Yeah. That's 9. To 9. 1 to 2 a.m. on 5/2. And then between 3 and 3:14 her cell phone pings near East 43rd Street South. East 43rd South. And Washington Avenue. So right here. So this is just her phone's movement. You don't know where she is. And that's 3 to 4 a.m. 5/2. Then at 4, her cell phone pings near. We already got that one. So that would be 11. Where was that? Right up here. Where was the 83rd one? Right there. And that would be 11. There you go. Wow, I mean, that phone's all over the place in there. Her family believes he's connected to the drug house on East 83rd Street and Hillcrest Road. I mean, man, yeah, maybe she was trafficked somehow. Definitely possible. We're almost in, well, we're not in mug territory, but you know, we got in a notebook range for sure. And we only got a few notebooks left, you guys. So if you want the notebooks, you can get it on the spin, or on PayPal, you can get one sent to you, and you're in the spin. All right, let me get the PayPal's the 25. You get a notebook no matter what. All right. So Ferris' very last cell phone ping was 4:11, May 2nd. After that, her phone and social media activity stopped. So it sounds like she's still posting and stuff, too. So maybe that means that is her moving around. That ping was at a once beautiful property tucked away near 83rd Avenue. It's so secluded you can't tell, Spike said. Really? All of these aren't really secluded. I don't know. How about we go to 2017? That's March 2017. June 2017. So this is right around that time. So maybe this one. Yeah, because that one, it's a nice home, but you can't really see it because it's so covered. Let's see how that works. So here you can, but I mean, well, God, there'd never be a time where you couldn't just see it, though. It's definitely one of these. I don't see anything that's really secluded, really. I mean, these are other homes off of another street, so it wouldn't be 83rd. And then 83rd over here, that's not a home there. And these are apartments, so you wouldn't be counting those. So really, these are the only ones that have an option. Anyways. City officials said many times drug houses fly under the radar because of the sheer number that exists. We have contact with over 300 drug houses in 2016 and 17, a 1-year period. How many there are total, I don't know, because we have to rely like police on the community and the neighborhood. The prosecutor's office oversees the drug abatement response team, a program that works to shut down drug houses. Officers look at code enforcement and work with property owners. Sometimes they do a home inspection to look for violations. Sometimes they evict tenants, etc., etc., etc. Spike said the problem can affect any family, even a girl up north from the suburbs. Regardless of how she got into the area, she got there. And that's what drives him and her family to keep searching until the teen is found. Was it this one we just did? That one. Was that the one we just did? Just wanted to find the girl. Okay, that's the one we just did. Man, I still got a long ways to go here. Missing Liberty 18-year-old remembered at prayer vigil. Ferris was the youngest of the Tam 4 children. She hasn't been seen since May 2nd. This is on November 6th of that year, 2017. She was headed to a friend's house, but she never arrived. I mean, that's a really simple way of that's way more complicated than that. Liberty police have said detectives spoke with hundreds of people. Many leads led them to South Kansas City. Persons of interest have been identified in the investigation, but no charges have been filed. One person of interest said he would speak to investigators if granted full immunity, but investigators didn't agree to the deal. Ferris remains classified as a missing. Well, they always have that one as an option. Ferris was described as being 5'1", 101 pounds. What it should be is, we'll grant you immunity if you don't have anything to do with the physical murder. I would do that. Friends who have helped search for Ferris said they will continue until they find her. Except a lawyer wouldn't allow him to sign something like that. It'd have to be just full immunity with no... Well, that's crime. There's a video. I have these links in the description. There's one on Crime Watch. I'm not going to play it. I think I'm just going to skip this and go to another newspaper article here. Remains found in Cass County, said to be a woman of a homicide victim, but it turns out that wasn't her. Human remains found in Cass County woods were a woman killed in homicide, sheriff said. But it turns out it wasn't her. Two years later, Desirea Ferris' family waits for answers, hopes for a break in her disappearance. Man, you guys, we had such a great start for the month early on. And then it just sounded like this. I was thinking, yes, we're finally... And then it back to what it was. What a golf course is that? I don't know what the name of the golf course was. I haven't been there. It's been 2 years of waiting for answers, but the family of Desirea... And you know what's amazing is at the beginning we were talking about Delphi and all this other interesting stuff, but whenever we do the ones that are just kind of... Like this one, they're not popular or something. It just really... Why should it be that way on a channel, you know? Why? I mean, see, what's sad is it makes people, like, question, should I ever cover the ones that nobody else does? Because everyone's so much more excited on the big cases, like Delphi and the other one. Everybody just loads up. They want you to keep talking about it, and the support's better, everything like that. But when you cover these... It's kind of sad, actually. It's been 2 years of waiting for answers, but the family of Desirea Ferris hasn't given up hope. Instead, they're asking anyone with information to come forward and bring the missing girl home. There have been no breaks in the case and no suspects specifically named in her disappearance. I just want her home no matter what, Tam said. Whether she's walking through those doors on her own 2 feet, or I'm crying... or I'm carrying her, she's coming home. 18 years old, Desirea Ferris left a card for her mom's birthday on her bed, the 1st of May 2 years ago. No, she should be covered, right? But it's one of those things where it's hard to do it, because look how it's been in here tonight for, you know, the support for the channel and what we do every single month. You know, as soon as I switched over to the couple missing persons cases, it just goes, you know. So then it makes you go, ooh, I've got to do the really, you know, flashy, you know. That's why people just keep covering Summer Wells over and over and over again. You know, I don't want to be one of those people, and I never will be. But it's just sort of a sad commentary. Hey, thanks, Liz. To me, there's nothing happy about it anymore, Tam said. There was the last time that I saw her. Tam marks each day on a calendar in her kitchen, hoping one day she won't have to count them anymore. I don't think I can make it through another year without her home, Tam said. I need her home. It takes everything I have to just get out of bed and just to function through the day. She says someone knows where her daughter is and is begging them to come forward. She thought that'll never get, the thought that I'll never get to hear her say, I love you, Mom, or hear her laugh, see her smile, see her big brown eyes, it destroys me, Tam said. This year, Desiree got national attention. Hey, 17 months, cool. This year, Desiree got national attention with an article in People magazine. Her story was featured along with others of missing people across the nation. One being Pearl Pinson. That was an interesting case. A young woman from Tam's hometown in Vallejo, California. That was a weird one because they actually killed the only person who had the answer to the case. He abducted her on her way to school, and they had the guy, they chased him and killed him. And then nobody was ever able to find her. Hey, thanks, Courtney Rob. Yeah. Pearl, where was that? Pearl Pinson. There it was. Who was abducted as she walked to her school bus nearly a year before Ferris went missing. Tam says she's been in communication with Pinson's family and shares their pain. Tam says each time remains are found, she has hope Desi is found, but her heart sinks. See, it's weird to me. Like, I don't know why I remember almost all the facts in the Pearl Pinson case, but I don't remember. Like, there's other cases that just they don't stick into your mind, you know. As well, like I always have to be refreshed. Like somebody have to say, "Hey, remember that one?" and then describe a little bit of it, and I go, "Oh yeah." She says if someone could just come forward, they could bring her daughter home. There's people out there that she knows where she's at, but there's people out there that knows where she's at, but they won't speak up, whether they're afraid or just too, I don't know. But I know there's people out there that know. They've had 730 days to speak up. There is a $12,500 reward for information leading to an arrest. If you have any information, call 816-474-TIPS. That was 2019 and 2020. Let's see if this has anything. It's weird. It's something like the internet's kind of messed up. Desiree Ferris's family has not seen or heard from her in 1,000 days. I just want her home, Ferris's mom, Patti Tam, said. But each day that goes by, there's less and less chance that it's going to have a good outcome. Ferris was 18 when she disappeared on May 2nd, 2017. Soon her family will celebrate her 21st birthday without her. They need to just cut that deal with that guy, even if it's just to get an answer, you know? Unless they really think he's the killer. Ferris of Liberty was last seen in the early morning hours of May 2nd. Her family does not know where she is now and fears she may be dead. Some of Ferris's family sat down with 41 Action News on the 1,000th day since she went missing to share new information about her case they haven't released publicly. Oh, here's the, well, we would have stumbled on the timeline right there. We were able to get the pings. I emailed their detective and begged him to let us have the pings. They put the pings on a map. Now they've pinpointed one of the last pings from her cell phone bouncing off a cell tower around 3:14 a.m. I thought it was 4:11 near Interstate 70 and Nolan Road in Independence. That's not the same as the one that we have, the 87. I wonder if that's, let's put that on there. That wasn't even on the timeline that I just saw. So that would have been East 43rd. No, that I am there, right? East 43rd Street in Washington. Yes, that's, they have that as the last one, but no, that's not really, because their phone pinged another time at 4:11 right over here. So they're missing. I mean, even though this article's later, I'm not sure why they, or actually this might be before the timeline that Zozo just sent over. This timeline is approximate and could be missing some pings. Her family knows Desiree was texting until 4 a.m. before the phone shuts off. Wouldn't it be great to see what she was saying? And was she sounding like she was under duress or just having a good time? The family also got another person's ping and noticed the two phones ping alongside one another until her phone is turned off. That person is believed to be among the last to see her. We have found nothing. I mean, that's just crazy circumstantial evidence right there. We have found nothing of Desi. So what do you do with that? Jennifer said. You have to keep your mind in the midst that she's still out there, and that's why we keep doing what we do. The family continues to search, investigate tips, and hold out hope as they spread the word about Desiree's disappearance. The Ferris family created a Facebook page, Bring Desiree Ferris Home, which has nearly 17,000 followers. Another Facebook page, Desi's Voice Speaking for Those Who Can't, raises awareness about other missing person cases. The Liberty Police Department statement continued. I'm not sure what the first part is. As you know, we are a suburban police department located on the northeast side of Kansas City, Missouri. Desiree grew up here in Liberty, and she was reported missing to our department. One of the more challenging aspects of this investigation for detectives have been the entire investigation has revolved around people and locations in South Kansas City across the metropolitan area away from our jurisdiction. The national media exposure, while potentially helpful, has also generated many leads which are checked out, but unfortunately have not advanced the investigation. You know, I've never even heard of this case, but it sounds like it was, might have been pretty big. The Liberty Police Department has handled this case as the highest of priorities. We have received assistance from other agencies during the investigation, which include KCPD, other area law enforcement agencies, as well as federal law enforcement. There are subjects who are incarcerated for federal offenses who may have information about the disappearance of Desirea Ferris. Investigators believe these people have not disclosed all they know to law enforcement. Detectives have either interviewed them or attempted to interview them during the course of the investigation. For the integrity of the investigation, we decline to identify or characterize the status of specific individuals for this case investigation. Some people interviewed for this case have invoked their Miranda rights. Once someone is in custody, invokes Miranda by expressing a desire to remain silent or have legal counsel present, police must stop interrogation. Investigators have maintained contact with Desiree's family and helped coordinate communications with family and federal law enforcement. We are careful not to release information that may have the unintended consequences of endangering the successful completion of this investigation. Hey, thank you, Lynette Burns. How's it going? Haven't seen you in a while. Cello. And this is 4 years later now. The weekend marks 4 years since Desiree Ferris went missing. In her honor, Ferris's family tried to turn the bad into some good. Desiree was in Marlboro neighborhood before she went missing. All her phone activity stopped in the early morning hours of May 2nd. No one has seen or heard from her since. It's actually been hard on me just because I don't want to move on without her. We had all these plans growing up to go do stuff after high school and college and everything. Sydney Wood, Desirea Ferris' stepsister, said, I'm meeting new people, doing all these fun things. I turned 21 and she never got to see her 21st birthday. All throughout their cleanup, the family knew their finishing point was at 81st and Highland. This is one of the last places Desirea Ferris was seen alive. So she was seen alive there. Desirea Ferris' family visited the street 3 months after she went missing, looking for answers. According to police, people who last saw Desirea Ferris said she was picked up from a nearby home at around 1:30 a.m. From there, it's a mystery. The family has used, her phone was pinging and she was communicating with people, and her phone matched somebody else's ping around in that same time frame. It makes you feel good to come through to help clean up the area. They're just doing some cleanup and stuff. So. All right, then we go to May of this year. Could it be here of Desirea Ferris on the edge after remains found in nearby Ray County? I don't know. Let's see.
A disturbing find in Ray County has a local family on edge once again. 5 years ago to the day, Desirea Ferris went missing.
KCTV5's Betsy Webster talked to her stepmom tonight. Betsy, what do we know about the discovery?
Well, I talked to the sheriff as well, and he's not giving a lot of details. The bones were found by a mushroom hunter last week. But every time...
No way. A mushroom hunter? You're kidding me. Wow. Have you guys ever heard of that before? A mushroom hunter finding bones? Are you freaking... you gotta be kidding me. He said with a note of sarcasm.
Wonders, could it be her?
I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you, there needs to be a certificate given out to mushroom hunters. Like the FBI detectives should give a class to mushroom hunters and say, by the way, while you're out there, I mean, really, scan even more than you've been doing. Because they find, I would say the number of bodies found per capita of mushroom hunters blows away what hunters find. Okay? Like, I would say 1 in 100,000 hunters come across a body where with I'm just throwing this out there, but mushroom hunters is like 1 in 5. I mean, if you're a mushroom hunter, expect to find bodies everywhere. That's just kind of what it is, man, because you're out in the woods, and guess what you're doing the entire time you're in the woods? You're looking down at the ground. Hunters aren't doing that. Well, yes, they do, Gray. They look at tracks. Well, they're not doing that every second. Mushroom hunters, all they do is look at the ground. They are walking like this, walking around looking for mushrooms, okay? So that's what I'm saying. It's like these mushroom hunters need to have classes given to them and have a little badge they can wear. Yes, yeah, I could do the old Don Knotts sniff. Yeah, I'm a certified mushroom hunter, thank you. Hey, what's a certified mushroom hunter, sir? Well, a certified mushroom hunter are those that are law enforcement approved. Well, why the hell do you need to be law enforcement approved to find a mushroom, for God's sakes? Well, because we find lots of bodies, and what they do is they actually provide us with body bags, and, well, as a matter of fact, they don't, because they don't want us to touch the damn thing. But what they're doing when the training is to even scan better. We might find more mushrooms, and we might find more bodies. The beauty of it all, though, is that we help law enforcement find bodies out there while providing nourishing food for the rest of you. What we try to avoid are the mushrooms that are growing on the bodies that we do find. We try to avoid those at all costs, but every once in a while we just got to do it because there's so many mushrooms. Yeah. Now, so that's what's going to happen, man. There's going to be a certification class for the mushroom hunters. Gonna be awesome.
Desirea Ferris was 18 when she went missing. On May 2nd, 2017, she texted her sister at just before 1 a.m. to say
Did you hear
she was heading
Gray?
home.
He was making
She
fun
never
of the.
returned.
Yeah,
It's
God.
horrible to have to deal with. 5 years of this little girl being missing.
Her stepmom, Jennifer Ferris, has made it a crusade to find her.
What more do you have with her missing other than reaching
Hey, she got
out
like a
to
bonus
people?
too.
There's
you know,
nothing else that you have.
a couple $100 from the.
You don't have her, you don't have her belongings, we haven't found a hair off of her head. What else do you have other than trying to get people to talk to you about where she's at?
They've had vigils to keep her on the public radar, performed searches from tips on a Facebook page they dedicated to finding her, and monitor the news for reports of remains found.
Finding something of Desi is better than nothing. Like, we have nothing. At this point, we have nothing.
This weekend, they traveled to Ray County, one county north of Desiree's home in Liberty, where a mushroom hunter found skeletal remains.
The not knowing, I know, has to be the most difficult thing in the world.
Sheriff Scott Childers said it's not just Desiree's family wondering. He's heard from at least 3 families. He struggles with what to say because skeletal remains require a forensic DNA lab for concrete answers.
I can't imagine the struggles that they go through every time remains are found when they're missing a loved one. But I just think it would be too irresponsible of us to give them false hope or bad information.
Because right now all they have are some guesstimates. He said the forensic DNA lab testing is expected to come back in 7 weeks. By the way, there is now a reward of more than $12,000 for information leading to finding Desiree, alive or not, so that her family can at least have some closure. To get that reward, call the TIPS hotline, 816-474-TIPS. Live in the newsroom, Betsy Webster, KCTV 5 News.
Look at that. See? Mushroom hunter finds body remains. In a pair of coincidental but unrelated cases, mushroom hunters in Indiana and Illinois. I mean, look at there's so many stories out there that they had to sort of add in one. I mean, here's the thing: is they say it's not it's coincidental, but it really isn't. It's like saying 2 searchers today found bodies. You know, in a pair of coincidental but unrelated cases. Mushroom. This is 1979, so you guys have been doing this sucker for years, all right? So, in a pair of coincidental but unrelated cases, mushroom hunters in Indiana and Illinois have found the skeletal remains of the bodies of possible murder victims. Coroner Stanley, whatever his name is, in South Bend, Indiana, said the skeletal remains of Mary Shaw, 30, were found by a group of mushroom hunters near the South Bend Country Club, 3 miles west of city late Saturday. The body was identified Sunday. A woman hunting mushrooms near Percy, Illinois, Sunday, found the scattered skeletal remains of what officials said probably was a young male. Foul play was suspected in the case. Mushroom hunting is a widespread activity among many residents of the upper Midwest this time of year. Yeah, I'm telling you, man. It's not like a one-timer type of thing. This is everywhere. That's 1979. What's this one? Mushroom hunters find body. Oh, yeah, 1980. Some mushroom hunters found a human body near Baraboo on Thursday evening. The man who has not been identified was taken to University Hospital in Madison. See, they're find the bodies that serial killers put out in the middle of the woods somewhere. Okay, that's who they're finding, and it's almost always you never hear them. It's always human remains, like they're almost skeletonized.
A disturbing find in Ray County has a local family
Expected to come back in 7 weeks. Wondering, he's heard from at least 3 families. He struggles with what to say because skeletal remains require a forensic DNA lab for concrete answers.
I can't imagine the struggles that they go through every time remains are found when they're missing a loved one. But I just think it would be too irresponsible of us to give them false hope or bad information.
Because right now all they have are some guesstimates. He said the forensic DNA lab testing is expected to come back in 7 weeks. By the way,
thanks,
there is now
Aaron.
a reward of more than $12,000 for information leading to finding Desiree, alive or not, so that her family can at least have some closure. To get that reward, call the TIPS hotline, 816-474-TIPS. Live in the newsroom, Betsy Webster, KCTV 5 News.
Oh, and thank you, the Velvet Army. Jeez. Man, thank you. All right, got that. And I have another article in here. Just a second. And then I think on the 3 days later, it said family committed to finding Desirea Ferris 5 years after. 5 years, 1,825 days since Desirea Ferris disappeared. Torture. I mean, there's really no other word for it. And that's really the truth, everybody. Missing persons cases are absolutely torture to especially the parents of who's ever missing. You know, it's crappy to siblings and all them, but it's just a nightmare every single day. Just just you feel like you're in a limbo. I mean, here's the thing: everybody has that feeling before, right? Like almost every one of us, I can at least. I've had feelings like that with my brother. Like my brother, one time, my younger brother now, Grant. He goes, "Hey, we're gonna go to the store and get some we'll be back in a little bit." And it was like 3 hours later, they just went out and were screwing around out in the snow. I mean, it was totally snowy and icy, and they were gonna go get something and be right back. And then 3 hours later, they're not back, and you're just freaking out. I'm just going, my God, did something happen to him? This isn't too many years after my brother died, so I was just kind of, you're panicky. But imagine having that same, or every one of you has had your dog or cat or something that you really care about, and you can't find it, and it's not around. And then all of a sudden you're just totally panicking, and you're just sitting around wondering, God, what would it be like if I never saw my dog again? What if I never saw my dog again? And then, oh, phew, you find the dog and the cat. They come running back. But imagine if you kept feeling that other way. It's just similar to the Delphi case with the girls, how they, have that panicky feeling, and then it turns into a freaking nightmare because it never went away until they died. So in this case, imagine going for 20 years, more even, the rest of your life, never getting the answer. Sure, it gets better at some point, but you never get to just live, just be genuinely happy. There's always that something in the background. We've prepared ourselves to find her dumped in the woods, Ferris said. We've prepared ourselves that she may not be alive. It sounds like she's almost 100% not alive, because that one person says, she's not alive, I just want 100% immunity. So he knows, Every time news comes out that someone has found human remains, the family's stomach turns as they face the reality that it could be Desirea. Oh my gosh, this could be the end of this terrible journey, and we can finally lay her to rest. I guarantee it that they would rather... see, that was actually a happy thought there. Stomach turns as they face the reality that this could be Desirea. And look at, right there you go, oh wow, they're going to be sad that it's her because they were hoping that she was alive. But the next sentence, oh my gosh, this could be the end of this horrible journey. See, that's really what the answer is. The truth is that for a lot of missing persons family, they would rather have a body that turns out to be that family member than to spend 30 years wondering. And that is the truth. Oh my gosh, this could be the end of this horrible journey, and we can finally lay her to rest. See how this is talking about that? Not, oh my gosh, we finally know that she's dead and I was hoping, no, it's more that finally they get answers. Desiree is from Liberty, but was in Kansas City, Marlboro neighborhood the night she went missing. The Liberty Police Department says people who may have information, some of whom are in prison for federal crimes, about what happened to Desiree refuse to cooperate with detectives. Desiree's family deserves the peace. I mean, the people that aren't sharing what happened are just, especially somebody that has knowledge but doesn't have any criminal liability. You're just scum. Okay, you're scumbags. Write a letter anonymously, tell them exactly what happened. If you know where the body is, tell them where the body is so they can find the body. Even if you are the killer, idiot, type it in or something, print it off, put it in a freaking envelope with no, do something where nobody knows who the hell you are. Maybe even leave a voice message. Call from somebody's payphone. They don't exist anymore. See, that's what payphones were good for, But somehow get a message to somebody that lets the family know where the hell she is. Okay, she didn't do anything to you. I guarantee it. She's 5'1", 100 pounds. A little more than 1,200 adults and children are currently missing in Missouri. Isn't that crazy? Kansas has about 550 current active missing persons. You need to always look at it in the worst case scenario, investigate in the worst case scenario and get them found, said Maureen Ranches, executive director of communications. She says that the attitude around missing adults is getting better, especially from a law enforcement standpoint. All too often, families would be told their loved ones had every right to up and disappear. Don't you hate that one? Oh, they're 18. They have all the right in the world to go somewhere. Yes, but, sir, they never do this. They've never left before. They had plans to, they just won the lottery. They were going to spend the money tomorrow on a new house. They have the, still, we need to wait. We never know. These cases are... How about this? Listen to what the parents tell you and act if they're telling you this is not normal. And get moving on it right then. There are several websites to look at missing persons, including the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children right there. That's one of our biggest organizations we donate to. We should do NAMUS sometime. Don't you think? I think we should need to send in some money to NAMUS at some point. They've got to have, let me see if they've got something on there. Do they have a donation thing or? Yeah, they need to have if they do have it, they need to have a button right here at the top. They might not though. This is a government agency, so it's not, there you go. It's not an org. That's a government. Oh, interesting. Huh. So they're not going to have that then. Who cares what he thinks? Kleski? Yeah. He's a total idiot, yeah. One of the dumbest people on the planet. Pretty good at editing video, though. Give him credit for that. Hey, can I ask you something, Kleski, why you keep saying that idiot's name? You're not curious, Kleski. If you mention his name one more time, I'm going to block you from the channel. Go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and do it. He's one of the worst people in the world. He's a really absolute dirtbag. Go ahead. Type it in again. As a matter of fact, I'll give you 5 seconds to type anything else in again, and then I'm going to delete you anyways. Okay? 5, 4, 3, 2, and a 1, and a... Oh, you're already gone. Okay. Hey, I wanted to do it. Jeez, you guys already did it. That sucked. Within 10 days of Desiree's disappearance, that second man was arrested on unrelated charges. He is currently in federal prison, and Desiree's family says that they do not believe that law enforcement have ever been able to speak to him. Man, I think that's just one of the things I hate the most. Sometimes you wish you lived in North Korea just to be able to get that guy and, interrogate him, waterboard him or something. Now, he's currently in the corner? What do you mean? I think he's been blocked. He's not on timeout. It's only halfway done humming the Jeopardy theme. Oh, yeah? I was kidding about North Korea. Did you hear, Gray? He said he wants to live. He wish he was North Korea. Did you hear that? No, not really. He was just goofing around because you have this idiot that probably committed a murder and he's in federal prison, but he's never actually spoke to the investigators. Yeah, see, LM's one of those people I was just talking about. Isn't that hilarious? God, isn't that incredible? Man, always has something to say. Yeah, when I went up there to try to block him, he was already blocked, thankfully. Yeah. Because it says unhide user. That means it's blocked already. Yeah, I mean, look at that. Tam says she's heard horrible stories about what has happened to her daughter, but that she will not give up looking for her until her last breath. That'd be an interesting conversation to actually speak to, maybe even watch some of the, I guess look right there, investigative discovery. What happened to Desirea Ferris? Does it go right there? No, it's not available. Why not? Now maybe I can go find it. Isn't that ironic? Somebody just messaged me on her. That's one of those cases like Maura Murray where somebody just disappeared off the face of the earth. Yeah. Well, NamUs is just, you just put in, it's like unidentified people and various things. It's pretty, it's a really cool website though. It's got the case numbers and who are the agencies and that kind of thing. When me and Colleen Fitzpatrick talk about cases, she refers to them a lot. And we look at stuff up on there. So one of the ones that we're talking about here I'll bring it up. Where is that? Alright, so this is one of the ones we're thinking of doing right here. So here we go, look. A riverside walk in Kent Park turned into a horror story after a man discovered a dead body stuffed inside a suitcase. A guy at the park, this is only from 2015 or 16, I can't remember. 2015. So a riverside walk in a Kent Park turned into a horror story after a man discovered a dead body stuffed inside a suitcase. A guy at the park found the suitcase, opened it up, and didn't like what he saw when he opened it up and called Kent Police Department. The suitcase was found on Frager Road. I wonder where that is. Frager Road, Kent, Washington. No, Frager. It's Frager, not Fracker. And they said near Veterans Drive, the Veterans Drive Bridge. That's Veterans Drive. Oh, right there maybe? Yeah, probably right here in this area. Here, I'm just going to put a folder in here for this. Oh, Google Earth. Okay. Google Earth crashed. Okay. Alright, I think I have to do a Control-Alt-Delete and do the shut that sucker down. Google Earth is such an unstable program. Okay, now it just shut. There we go. Anyway, let's just go over this part here. I mean, it doesn't matter what computer I have or anything. It's the same. It's been like that on 3 different generations of computers. Oh man, that entire timeline's gone. I did. Oh jeez, are you kidding me? Yeah, that's it. That's all I got in there now. All the other stuff is down here. I'll just have to rebuild that at some point. Eesh, yikes. Sick. Must not have saved it. I thought I did though. I usually save as I'm going. Alright. So we've got the suitcase was found on Frager Road near the Veterans Drive Bridge that crosses the Green River. Remember the Green River killer? The reason it is just now coming out is because we've been waiting for the medical examiner to give us a report. So this is June 16th, but the body was found on May 27th. The cause of death has not been released. The sheriff's office is now asking for help identifying the woman whose body was found in the suitcase. The woman is believed to have died sometime during the first week of May. Obviously, she didn't put herself in there. There weren't any injuries or anything like that. She looked like she was well nourished. Right now, we're just trying to find out who she is. Investigators say the woman is possibly Caucasian and was between the age of 50 and 60. She had a small build, 5'4", and around 106 pounds. Her shoulder-length hair had gray streaks. The woman wore full dentures, but none were recovered at the scene. Oh, that's weird. The sheriff's office reported that she was wearing a purple shirt with flowers and an adult diaper. So, you know, she had cirrhosis of the liver, indicated the victim had long-term and heavy alcohol consumption. There were no scars or tattoos. But they actually have a blood sample of her, so I think that'd be an interesting one to, you know, at least, I mean, give her dignity back at least. You know, this is crazy right here. And there she is. So that's one that we're possibly going to be doing. What do you think of that? And who knows what it'll lead to? Maybe it'll lead to, you know, once her name is out there, might lead to where she was last, and maybe it'll end up, you know, being a criminal case. So there you go. Anyways, that's it, you guys. That's it for the show tonight. Thank you. We made it into the notebook range. Man, the night started off with such great promise. I was thinking, man, we're gonna get a good start. But yeah, it did pretty well in terms of all around. Thank you to the Velvet Army and Chico's Mummy and LM on PayPal there. And then we're going to switch over to, I think I have everybody on here. I think it's Courtney Robb, Alifair M, Liz Marie, Eugenie, the Velvet Army, Kendall Woodward Stone, H. Doc, Quietly Frozen, Plato, Barbara Ann, Charleston Amy, Carla Dinsmore, and then welcome to Ringo, then Cammie Curry, Paul Hallett, Tracy, Mary Glaviano, Papa Q, Allie Cake, Jennifer Dotson, LM, quietly frozen again. Jessica Schubach, Linda Howe, Tawny Lee, quietly frozen again. Technician, JSD, Zozo, Liz Marie, Courtney Robb, Lynette Burns, and LM. Anyways, that was a lot of stuff we went over tonight. So I think we'll probably get some answers in the Chase Williamson case. I bet you the next day or two. I bet you even tomorrow, to be honest with you. And I think in Desiree's case, it sounds like she's probably a good girl, got caught up with some people that were doing drugs, and she just kind of thought it was fun hanging out with them or whatever, and then something happened, and I don't know why she was being moved around all these different places, but who knows. Somebody felt like they needed to kill her. Could have been, well, it sounds like she was murdered. That's how the individual seemed to describe it. So it might have been something where something happened to her, and she would have said something about it, and then they decided that if they killed her, that she wouldn't be able to talk, that kind of thing. That's what it seems like in that one. Oh, look at, we got the troll in here again. Yeah. Oh yeah, see, this is the troll again, and remember my wife, he keeps saying the same thing. Gray's wife is quietly frozen. Nah, what an idiot. It's Norman the Winner, a.k.a. Derek Godsey. He's a psycho, you know that, you guys? See, he actually, got a hold of me on Facebook and went, yeah, we were starting to get along and just communicating. He seems sort of normal, but he's not. He's one of those psychos behind the scene. He likes all the adulation on his Facebook pages where he has all these crazy theories and everybody loves him on his Facebook pages, but in real life they just laugh. So this guy pretended that we were all getting along and everything like that, and then one day he just quit communicating without a word, and he started doing his stupid ass trolling again, because that's what he does. Okay? All right. Da, 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 da. Hold on one second. Gotta do some things. Oops. All right, let's see. And God, he's so mean too to people that he doesn't even know, Okay, there you go, got it. Yeah, I mean, we get the trolls. They don't really care that even though you can go over all the stuff that we do on here, it just doesn't matter because they just have an agenda. It's the same thing every week. You know what they always tell me? I'm going to ruin Gray's channel. I'm going to do this and I'm going to do... You know what's funny is I keep every single day, I get more and more subs, even though these people do these things. I mean, it's crazy. I really, it's mind-boggling. So thank you for subscribing to the channel, and if you're out there and you want to become a channel member, please become a channel member, and you can get access to all of the emojis, discounts on any merch you might want to get, and just be really cool, it's But every single night it's the same. It never ends. All right. Let's get to the. Okay, we're gonna do we'll do like 2 notebooks. How about that? Where's the spin? And some of these are from after we spun yesterday. Here we go. Oh, look at that. It's the Velvet Army again. Probably wants to respin, right? Looks like I have a blank one down here. Huh, I don't know where the blank one is. And there's Quietly Frozen again. Are you out there quietly frozen? She probably wants me to respin too, so here we go. And there's Tawny Lee. I knew you were going to say that, Quietly Frozen. So there's Tawny Lee. Alright. Look at Charleston Amy keeps winning every time. Oh, you got it today? Cool. It's pretty cool, right? It's not like the greatest notebook in the world, but it's not bad either. I'm going to spin Charleston Amy's again. She just got one of these. Liz Marie, there you go. You got it, Liz Marie. There you go. You got your notebook. All right. Well, there you go, everybody. Thank you very much for being here tonight. I really appreciate it. It's not a terrible start, but you know, it is what it is. You know, I can't fix. I wish I could. This is what I would do. I think basically what I would just do is start drilling oil. And if you lower the gas prices, everything else starts to drop. Costs less to ship, costs less to buy everything. Everything starts getting better on that front again. The interest rates will start dropping again. Just everything gets better. But when you have these crazy utopian ideas, things don't actually happen. It ruins everything. But happy to take another. Oh, you already got one? Okay, cool. All right. Well, thank you guys very much for being here tonight. And we'll see you guys tomorrow. All right. Ah, Jesus. Yeah, so I was supposed to do that tonight. Why can't you just remind me, like, on Facebook or something? You always do it out here, like a shame moment. I didn't remember to do it, okay? All right. So thank you guys very much. We'll see you guys tomorrow. And as I always say, everybody, until next time, be safe out there. All right. And where the hell is it? Yeah, forgot to do the Patreon thing. Yeah, I've been doing this true crime thing for quite a while now. And during this whole time, I have not seen one person that is a crime dissector, thug rejector. I'm a certified human
What happened, Gray? What? Oh, there it is.
Gonna get ya on a stretcher if you try and play me like an old projector. Crime sector is my nectar. Professor Gregor's gonna give another lecture. Crime collector, freak connector, and I'm always gonna be a pup protector. Fool deflector, interceptor, and I'm meaner than a spectre with a vector on his pector. With all respect, y'all, just remember I've a temple fucking check ya. I have no agenda, I'm no pretender, and I'll serve it to you straight without the blender. And in the end, I'm gonna send ya on a mission to reveal the true offender. Yeah, so I'll just get right back to work. All right, buddy, have a good one. I'm eating Honeycrisp. See you later.